Good evening.
Good evening.
We call the meeting of the Liberty County Board of Commissioners to order. Good to see everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for braving the elements. And our plan is to not be here and not to make it an all-nighter. So we ask everyone who has to present to try to be expeditious but thorough in your presentation. Mr. Mosley, has a meeting been properly advertised?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. So you have it to say, we will now stand and have our prayer and invocation by Pastor Bishop Kendall Page.
Let's pray. Most holy and righteous God, we thank you, God, for this day. God, we pray even now for this meeting to be productive in your sight. We ask you to give the commissioners the wisdom they need to navigate through this meeting, God, for the Liberty County. We thank you for them and their sacrifice for this county. Thank you for their families that's standing beside them as they conduct business. Thank you for every presenter on today, God. We thank you for all that you do in and through us. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, kind sir. Making a quick note. All righty, our minutes from the month of July. I'm sorry, I didn't get the thumbs up from you. But our minutes from the month of July 1st, July 17th, they will require our approval. Commissioner, have you had time to look over those? If so, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I've looked at them and I was in attendance that time, and I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes for July 1st.
And 17th. Okay.
Second.
Yeah. Motion and second, we approve the minutes for the month of July 1st, 17th. Any further discussion? All in favor by show of hands, please. It's unanimous. The minutes are approved. Moving right along. Proclamation, Dr. Somebody standing in for Dr. Bell, huh? St. Catherine's Beach Sweep.
Greetings.
Greetings.
On behalf of Keep Liberty Beautiful, our president, board members, we're doing a proclamation for the beach sweep of St. Catherine's Island, which is the only island in Liberty County that we want to keep clean. We'd like y'all to join us on August the 16th. Anybody have boats, anything, we'll gladly need those. Just let Ms. Karen know. As well as our recycling fair on August the 23rd, which is going to help reduce waste. So don't throw nothing out on the streets or anything. Bring it August 23rd to Midway Community Complex or either Walthamville City Hall.
Okay.
Any questions?
And in Walthamville on that date, there is the shred truck will be there. So if you have any important documents that need to be shredded, please, please, please bring them. They'll be put in and shredded on the spot. You can view it and leave.
Yeah. You know, I'm reminded to speak, Commissioner Blunt and I was just talking about the project with CSX Railroad, and we appreciate them for cleaning the culverts out to allow for some drainage in his district. But sometimes a lot of what you see that's blocking those culverts is trash. It's trash. So, yes, because when you throw it aside the roadside, it's going to wind up, the water's going to take it to where the water goes. So your timing is good, especially as we enter the storm season too. We need to make sure that all our ditches are draining properly. So we don't need them filled with trash that you could recycle or take to the garbage. So thank you for your efforts. Mr. Mosley, excerpt from the resolution, please, sir. Proclamation.
Okay. Proclamation, St. Catherine's Beach Sweep. Whereas adequate debris choke our waterways and oceans, threaten the lives of thousands of animals and birds, and putting human health and safety at risk. And whereas it's part of the Keep Georgia Beautiful Foundation, St. Catherine's Beach Sweep Day is the largest one-day cleanup of Georgia beaches. And whereas for each of the past 13 years, Volunteers have collected an average of 50 tons of debris while raising awareness of the importance of being good stewards of our environment. Now therefore, I, Donald L. Lovett, and the Liberty County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim August 16, 2025 as St. Catherine's Beach Sweep Day throughout Liberty County. So declared on this day of August 5th, 2025, and encourage all Georgians to work together to clean our beaches.
Yes, ma'am.
For anybody that's here or that's viewing, if you do have a boat and you're a certified boat captain, we really do need boats. We have plenty of volunteers, but not a whole lot of boats, so we don't want to turn any volunteers away. So if you have a boat, know someone with a boat that is qualified to drive the boat, we would welcome that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be there with my boat.
Commissioner Blunt, so he'll be there with his boat.
Okay, all right.
If you all will come around for that, take the photo. Oh, he said he's trying to recruit, he says, some other boat owners.
Better watch Timmy, he be wanting to fish.
That sound like your daddy.
Me. Me and her.
Right there, Commissioner Blunt, right there, okay.
Going on 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, all, baby.
Yes, there you go.
How mama good?
Yes.
Good, tell I say hey. Y'all were classmates?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I remember her class. I was on the school board then.
Yes.
I was a new school board member. I remember. I don't see Mr. Larry Murray in the audience either. We're gonna.
Mr. Chair, he got
Yes, sir.
caught up with some issues going on at school, and the students aren't here, so, so neither one.
Okay, we'll reschedule that then.
Yes, sir.
All right, departmental reports, public hearing, development impact fee ordinance, Ms. Page.
He's here,
There she
sir.
is, okay. Yeah. Happily.
Mr. Chair, if you go into public hearing right now.
Okay, Chair Taylor.
Mr. Chair.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. We are now in public hearing for impact fee discussion. You
Good
made
evening.
it.
Yes, yes, in the rain. Thank you for your time this evening. As stated, this is an initial public hearing related to a draft development impact fee ordinance. The ordinance would be required in order to establish an impact fee program, which allows the county to potentially have another funding source to help pay for certain capital projects if the county so chooses to adopt a program. So an impact fee ordinance is an essential component of that. And by state law, there are public hearings that are required. Tonight, we're introducing the draft ordinance, and I just want to go through a few slides to help explain what that entails and where we go from here. So to date, these are some milestones that has brought us here. The duration of the impact fee study that's been undertaken for the past year. We submitted and had approved a capital improvements element. It was approved by the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. If you may recall, that was transmitted for review a few months back. The CIE, as it's called, establishes the impact fee eligible projects that are needed to serve growth and demand or development over the coming 2 decades, pertaining to parks, fire, all public safety type projects, parks and roads. We've also had 3 meetings with the state mandated advisory committee that was appointed by the board. The advisory committee has a recommendation pertaining to potential fees that I'll be sharing this evening. And then we have a draft development impact fee ordinance, about 25 pages that, again, we are introducing this evening. So the purpose of the hearing relates to the ordinance as stated. The ordinance itself contains detailed guidance for administering and maintaining an impact fee program with provisions that are intended to support and ensure concurrence with the Development Impact Fee Act, which is a state law that guides development impact fee programs. It will also ultimately include a fee schedule, which would establish the fees that could be collected from all types of land uses, from residential, commercial, industrial, et cetera. We are adhering to state requirements for this particular process, which requires 2 public hearings at least 2 weeks apart. Adoption can occur at any point after the second public hearing, which is scheduled for later this month. And at that time, if the board chooses to adopt an impact fee program, the ordinance would be adopted in conjunction with the DCA-approved CIE, or capital improvements element. As mentioned, the ordinance includes a variety of provisions to guide and provide guidance to staff and the development community on how an impact fee program is administered and maintained. It includes mechanisms for reducing fees on a case-by-case basis, offering relief, if you will, through a typical appeals process, individual assessments, where if an individual would want to submit an alternative fee based on supporting studies for their to be considered by the county for a particular development proposal. There are credits such as, for example, if a developer is constructing a neighborhood and has property that they propose to donate to the county to develop for a park, then that developer would be granted credits that would reduce their impact fee due to that proposed arrangement. And then there are exemptions that are allowed by state law. Currently, the draft ordinance has what's called enabling language that allows the board at a point in the future to establish detailed criteria to allow you to consider exemptions for projects that qualify as affordable housing or that provide extraordinary economic development or employment growth. The kicker there, if you will, is that any exemption or waiver of fees, however, that would be approved on a case-by-case basis. If so approved, money would have to come out of the general fund or another local source and go into the impact fee program. So anything not collected from impact fees for these state authorized exemptions would have to be made up by the county. So again, nothing, you're not bound to do that, but if you want to consider such an approach, the ordinance allows that, again, adhering to the state law that specifies that. So the fee schedule, then that ultimately, a 2-page fee schedule would go at the end of the impact fee ordinance. There is a maximum schedule I'll share in just a minute that has been established, which is the ceiling. State law, DEFA, the Development Impact Fee Act, says that communities can't charge new development more than their fair proportionate share of the cost of capital facilities that are needed to serve that new growth. And so there's a fee that's calculated to establish, well, what is that maximum fair share that can't be exceeded? So fees can be adopted up to that point or lower. The advisory committee has recommended lower fees than the maximum established. That would be comparable for a detached single-family house as far as with the city of Flemington. And so the committee recommends a figure between $2,000 and $2,500, oops, I'm sorry, per house. Oh.
What does Flemington?
This was added. I was going to say, okay, sorry.
What's their fee?
Oh, about 2,000 and change. I think it's either 2,100 or just shy of that.
Okay.
So a little bit over. So rounding to 2,000. And I'm sorry, here are the committee members I neglected to mention that were appointed early in the process and have been providing feedback. So I've got actually, here is what we discussed with the advisory committee and want, of course, to share.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. To you all. So this was sort of a frame of reference, typically in working with communities to establish what an impact fee is that's suitable for a particular community. We look at fees for a single-family house and what other communities in the area are charging. to sort of offer an apples-to-apples approach. And so this is what you can see, counties and cities in the area that have impact fees. This is it. Some are longstanding, some are newer communities, such as Savannah. And so again, you can, in looking at Flemington, just over 2,000, and the board therefore recommended that it would be appropriate to offer a recommendation, the advisory committee rather offered a recommendation of up to 2,500.
Question.
Yes.
Are impact fees in any way comparable to tap-in fees that some cities charge for?
Well, for water and sewer, then if there's any fee that's associated with expanding capacity for water and sewer, that is, yes, comparable to an impact fee.
I know Walterville has that, and I want to think that Midway has a tap-in.
Right, they do.
Yeah.
And
So
Rice-
this
and
is
Rice
what,
Grove.
water and sewer is a different animal. Those
understand.
fees are established a little bit differently, and so typical impact fee programs are distinct from that. If an entity is in the water and sewer business, then they've got a rate study that they have their fees established. But the more traditional impact fee programs look at all the other categories that currently don't have fees that are being collected to serve them, such as fees from new development, for parks and public safety, et cetera. But that is a good
I understand.
comparison.
I just wonder, we can find out what those are, that they, just out of curiosity,
sure.
what those are.
So, Mr.
When
Chairman,
will we need to set the fee?
Well, this is just, that's up to you. We have to have a second public hearing before
Okay.
anything can be done, and
Okay.
that's scheduled for later in August.
Okay.
So there can be as much discussion as needed, but technically, that's the time frame. You can't do anything before then.
Okay. Commissioner
Mr. Yes, I had a question along those lines with the tap-in fee. So you wouldn't have a tap-in fee for water and sewer and an impact fee?
Well,
Or most
if there
communities.
isn't, so this would be unincorporated county, and
Right.
so as far as
Right.
building permits, that's the trigger. So when a building permit is issued, that's when an impact fee for the public safety, parks and
Right.
roads would be assessed. So I'm gonna defer to Mr. Mosley with respect to water and sewer, which was not part of our
Have
study.
sewer yet,
No,
but.
just
I
out of
mean, it
curiosity,
could be
the day may come
yeah.
when, just a question.
So, okay, gotcha. Right, that would then be an additional fee.
Okay, that
Correct.
would be.
That would be
okay.
handled through a water and sewer department,
That's all we
collected
asking
very
is- okay.
differently, but
Yes.
sorry for my
Okay.
confusion,
All right.
All we
understood.
asking, okay. We're good.
All right.
Okay.
So I apologize,
Chairman.
this is,
Excuse me,
oh,
just
sure.
a minute. These impact fees, she brought up Flemington. Why would they be paid to us and not the city of Flemington? I mean, Hinesville has impact fees, and those fees come to the city of Hinesville.
Example.
And that's what I'm saying. Are you saying that these impact fees will be sent to the county?
Yes.
This would only, right, because it
Incorporated.
would be development in the unincorporated county. County issues building permits, and so that's what the fees are associated with. Hinesville doesn't have an impact fee program per se in accordance with the type of categories that we're looking at. And so Flemington has a comparable impact fee program to help pay for the services that they provide. So this is associated with the county services to help pay to expand them to serve new growth and development.
Go ahead. With us?
Well, no, I'm really not, Mr. Chairman. I just, historically, we've had impact fees put on builders when they build in Hinesville because it impacts the water, the sewage, the dry trash. It also affects the stormwater runoff. And that's what I understood impact fees was for. Now, maybe I'm,
Yes, that's different.
Tap in.
That's different.
well, I mean, what are we trying to get here then?
Let me take you back.
Impact fees for,
This came up when we had all the rezoning fun around the Trade Port East down there. And some of the people there, some of them, they were used to this. They said that the citizens should not have to bear the total burden of new development. Those who bring the development should share that. So Joey started doing some research and found this young lady her company, so we can start getting some ideas. And Mr. Mosley had experience with it in a previous position. So this is totally for development outside of the city limits to help to offset the cost of infrastructure so that the citizens of Liberty County not paying for it. Now, we're not saying when the building permit would trigger it and it'll be added on. Some people argue that, it's just a matter of being passed on to the homeowners or the developers. That's just the way it is. But the people were very clear that they didn't think we should bear the total burden of new development in the county when other folk are causing the development to come, whether that be infrastructure, whatever it is, more public safety, whatever it is that has to accommodate / cover, provide for the growth. Have I got it halfway right?
That's right, very, very well stated. And to build on that, when we speak of infrastructure, specifically, we're talking about with the county's development impact fee study. I don't know, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but there is a top row that identifies for the headers for each of the columns. There would be a fee assessed for every single public safety category, which would be inclusive of EMA services, E911, EMS, fire protection, the sheriff's department, animal control. Parks and recreation would also, there would be a fee, the fee assessed that would help pay for additional park needs to expand their services, as well as certain road improvement projects, road widenings, intersection improvements, et cetera, the type of road projects that would be needed as growth comes in, more cars come on the road, how do you facilitate, mitigate traffic congestion? So nothing to do with water, sewer, stormwater. Again, Hinesville, if they do have something akin to impact fees, that would be more towards their traditional stormwater, water, and sewer, as you mentioned. But they have not expanded upon that at this point in time to look at fees that could cover a variety of additional public services as was being looked at here with the county study. So counties and cities in the state that have an impact fee program, this is what it looks like, because water, sewer, and stormwater are treated separately by the state with respect to impact fees, and they're calculated differently. And so this is just another opportunity, another fee that potentially could be adopted to help pay for the things that water, sewer, and stormwater currently benefit from in other communities.
If I'm not mistaken, Flemington is designated for public safety.
I think so. I think they are tailored to public safety.
That's how they're
yes.
helping to fund the fire service.
Right.
Probably the sheriff too, right?
Yeah.
So this will encompass the traffic coming in and out of the development authorities, the down at Tradeport, that traffic coming in and out, we had already decided that there was going to be an impact on those. Will this be all tied in together?
No, this is separate.
Okay, well, we're going to have
Right.
enough.
This is separate.
I see enough figures up there that I hope somebody's got a sharp pencil, because there's a pile of numbers up there on that thing, and then to go ahead and look at the impact for, the industrial growth. I mean, some of them I don't really understand.
I think as she goes through, it'll be clearer to you.
And well, and
I think as she goes through, it'll become clearer to you where she's headed, where we headed.
It's clear as mud right now.
so the two, these are in essence act as illustrative slides. I apologize due to the legibility, but this shows you the maximum fee schedule. So this is the array of land uses. It would be a 2-page fee schedule where there would be a per unit fee. So for most commercial and industrial uses, there would be a fee based on square feet. And for residential uses, the fee would be per dwelling unit. And so as shown, there is a total fee that would be paid at the time that a building permit was issued, and then the fee would be allocated amongst the various categories shown. The calculations for each of these subcategories were done independent of one another. Each was treated as its own mini-study based on future demand and the type and cost of capital projects needed, such as fire stations and fire trucks associated with the fire fee, et cetera. Now, this shows a maximum fee, and we typically look at, as mentioned, a single-family home because that resonates with most folks, is at $7,900. That's a maximum to help pay for everything that was shown to you in the CIE document months ago that was reviewed and transmitted and approved. So then when we look at some sample uses to show, again, this was an exercise that we discussed with the advisory committee, saying, okay, well, what would this look like then for real-world applications? So for a Dollar General, for a Chick-fil-A, for a warehouse, what would the cost end up being if we were seeking to reach the $2,000 or $2,500 house fee? So the maximum established is $7,900 per house with associated fees for every single land use under each category. To get to $2,000 a house, we have to reduce all of those categories, parks, police, or sheriff, et cetera, in order to get to 2,000. And by doing that, we end up reducing all land uses on those 2 pages. So these are just some sample scenarios, because there are a million ways to Sunday that you can play with adjusting the categories to reach a certain fee per house. So these are just a few illustrative scenarios. Part of it is ultimately decisions can be made on what's most important to help pay for. Everything is important. There's never enough money. But at the same time, do we want to try to collect more for fire because that has a more robust program that costs a lot to implement? Do we want to try to pay more for parks and not reduce that fee as much? So these are just some examples to get into discussion that I wanted you to see just as working examples.
Mr. Chairman, I had another question, if you could take it right quick. These impact fees, are they just for developers, or if I decide I want to build a home on an acre, would I pay the impact fee, or is that just for a developer going in and building 300?
Whoever, it's the building permit. So it's associated with the building permit. So whoever is issued the building permit. So if it's you or if it's a developer going in for a 50-home subdivision, that's at the time that the fee is assessed and paid.
But if I'm okay, I'm just, not me, I'm not going in, but my contractor, whomever is going to build my house, then you would charge him the impact fee.
Right, so that would be factored into the cost,
Okay.
right, exactly. That ultimately you,
Yeah,
yes.
It's not just for
Right.
a develop,
No,
not just to
no.
develop 300
Right, as long as
Right.
additional units are being added, whether that's someone building a house that doesn't currently exist on 5 acres, or whether it's 50 homes going in the subdivision.
Does that include a mobile home?
Yes. So we're talking about anything coming in that's adding,
Going to add to,
it's
Okay.
creating additional demand and requires expansion of public services.
Chairman. So
Okay.
what we're looking at is the permit fee, the impact fee, and the tap-in fee. If
We-
you
we don't have a tap-in fee
No,
right
if you're in an area, we do have the water.
as a water system,
We do have the water system, right? Okay.
right.
What is that, $35?
No, $13.75 right now.
Go ahead, Ms. Page.
So, based on the previous slide that showed each of the categories, parks, and the public safety categories, et cetera, and the different fees that could be collected with those few sample scenarios of getting to $2,000 or $2,500 per house, we then compared those, we summarized them here against what it would be for dollar store in the other communities, et cetera, et cetera. So the first 2 alternatives, 1A and B, are where reductions of the same percentage were made across the board to the maximum fee to get to $2,000 and $2,500. In the Liberty County alternatives 2A and B relate to making different adjustments such that there's a little bit more of a level playing field across the categories. What this shows is that the alternatives to A and B end up bringing in more non-residential. The non-residential fees are slightly higher compared to the first scenario. And again, you can see how these relate to some other real-world examples in surrounding jurisdictions.
North Bryan, just for clarification, that's Richmond Hill, right?
I'm sorry?
Pembroke,
That's Pembroke?
Pembroke.
That's correct.
So Pembroke, their tap-in fees are higher for, no, they're not. Okay. Ooh. Fast food for Richmond Hill? Is that an error? 388,000?
Oh, that's a transportation fee, South Bryan County. It's a county fee just for transportation.
Wow.
So they're kind of all over the place because it just depends on the types and extent and cost of projects that are needed in various communities. But still, just to look at what some of the comps are.
Yeah. So South Bryan calls it a transportation fee.
That's all it is.
Wow.
And then they have a proposed fee for the north part of the county
I see.
that hasn't been adopted, I don't think.
Yeah.
And obviously, they don't want a dollar store over there. If y'all see that. They're against dollar stores.
They
in
got
Richmond
one
Hill.
on, they got one on 17 as you're going in.
Yeah. Ms. Chair, just a quick question. I guess going back to the front, I didn't want to ask a lot of questions because, you know, sometimes when you sit back and listen, the answer might
It's
come.
cleared up.
Going back to the ordinance and provisions. Quick question about the appeals process. Who would they appeal to? Will we create a separate committee? It'll be the same?
No, it's fairly standard, sort of comparable to zoning appeals as far as there would be an administrator appointed, an impact fee administrator that would receive appeals. Whether that's a building official or a planning director or county manager, and then ultimately
Or
would
administrator.
come before the board.
So I guess the question I have is, so the appeal process, it just go through like the county administrator or the department head? And that's all?
It has to be, there is someone, so typically the language is the impact fee program administrator would be the head person, Mr. Mosley, or designee. And so there would have to be someone that would receive and review, and then ultimately the appeal would come before the board.
Okay. I was just trying to find out what was the last phase of that. Okay. And then when it talks about the exemptions in the language, I know a lot of that comes from the DCA, correct?
The Development Impact Fee Act from 1990.
Okay, there we go. So it talks about extraordinary economic development, but I did a little bit of research. Most times with that, again, who would that piece go through? Will it go through the same process?
No,
or-
that would go directly to you. So application would be made. Again, it would have to be received by the impact fee administrator, whoever that responsibility is delegated to. But criteria would have to be established and adopted by the board to even entertain. You'd have to have a basis for making a review on a case-by-case basis. And so that would be done, everything solely would reside with the Board of Commissioners to review and make a determination as to whether the exemption would be approved and to what extent.
All right, and then I guess with the impact fees, I see we won't be able to adopt this till after the 21st of this month. But once we, I guess, adopt these particular fees, do we have like a certain amount of time that we have to keep them at this rate before we review them again? Or-
So you could, Whatever rates end up being adopted, if anything is adopted, and a change can be made to the fee schedule that would just require, that would be amending, any change to the fee schedule after its adoption would be an amendment to the ordinance because it's part of the ordinance, and you would have to have 2 more hearings again. So once it's established, if you want to revisit the fee schedule,
We just go through this again.
you just go through and, okay, advertise 2 hearings, this is the proposed new fee schedule, and then that's it.
Okay. Mr. Chair, of course, you know, we've been talking about this for quite a while. Like you said, especially once we had an influx of a lot of new development. And I remember I asked about if we should put a moratorium during this time until we figure this out. And I know we decided not to. Do we know how many developers have, I guess, petitioned for permits since we last?
She wouldn't know. Yeah.
But some have.
More of a LCPC
None have?
question.
We don't know?
Yeah.
We don't have that
We can
information?
find out, but we don't know.
Yeah.
That's over in LCPC.
Okay.
Or buildings.
Builders
License. We can get it.
Okay. I was just wondering with that. And then,
Of course, you very well know, what, 10-1 more in Hinesville and Flemington than out in the county?
right.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
But also, I did do a little bit of research on like other communities who have like the impact fees. And most of those counties do have a separate economic development authority to focus on that as well, so.
That's a great point. Oftentimes, a DDA or IDA sometimes will make a recommendation as part of a proposal that then would come with the application to the board and making a determination. But whatever happens, if the ordinance is adopted, that doesn't bind the board to have to accept exemptions. All it does is say, if you want to entertain them, you now have to craft criteria to review them and then hear them on a case-by-case basis.
I mean, I think it's a great idea, you know, because like you said, me personally, I don't feel that the citizens should have to, you know, pay for a lot of this large development. And then also, you know, what's near and dear to all of our hearts, of course, you know, public safety, but more importantly, you know, we could do more with the Parks and Recreation with that. That's money coming in for them as well, so.
And just to clarify, though, for any approved exemptions, as mentioned before, if a fee is waived, either partially or entirely,
We have to take it
you
back
got
out
to
of-
make it up, right? It has to come from some
Somewhere.
funding source, correct? So I just
Absolutely.
want to reiterate. So the
Absolutely.
idea being that there is some sort of public benefit to approving it for affordable housing or extraordinary economic development, and that's why a community ends up having to fund the difference, whatever they exempt.
Or let's say have like an economic development authority that has the money and they can offset that as well.
Sure, right.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Right.
there we
It's
go.
got to come from somewhere.
Which
Well
I've
stated.
access to create as well for quite a long time. But
Okay.
I was just reiterating, that's how all this comes together when we talk about economic development. It all comes together. And she's agreeing with me. So if y'all don't agree, I mean, she's
You got a nod.
she's a specialist, right? Y'all heard it. She said yes.
Well, I'm glad y'all two are agreeing.
There we go.
Lots of moving
Dang.
pieces beyond when I'm done here,
And,
so.
man, most people who listen, they're a doctor, you know, or they're a lawyer. I do.
The only thing that I'm just a little confused on, of course, I usually get confused real easy, but you've got Liberty County doing inspections in Flemington, Liberty County doing inspections in Waldiville, and Allenhurst, Midway, and Riceboro. I mean, I'm saying us, and what is that gonna do to our inspections department?
Nothing changes. It's just when they come to the inspection department to get their permit, then that triggers the process.
Right, with the building permit, so it's just a function, it's
won't-
just
it
an
won't affect the
offshoot
other
of the typical
municipalities.
building permit
Yeah.
process.
Well, I know, but the fee is what I'm talking about. You've got, some of them are so much per square foot. And I don't know if they're all like that. You go to get an electrical permit, it's probably X number of dollars. Well, if you're gonna build a, 3,500 square foot house, then you've got to be figuring all that in there too. And that's, who gets the money, who's in control of where that money goes to. And I know we can, we can what if it all the way, but it just looks like, I know there's a lot of moving parts in it. I just want to make sure that, and we won't ever get it tonight, but, that a lot of thought's been given into it. Because y'all saw what the, just a restaurant, what it is. It's a fee, and then it's a fee per square foot. So, there's a lot of things there to look at, and I'll yield. You can go ahead on with whatever you want to do.
Mr. Mosley is trying to comment.
Well, as Commissioner mentioned, y'all stated earlier, you'll have your building fee, which is, our building fee is based on a number of factors. And then, as y'all mentioned earlier, you would have the impact fee on top of it. And the restaurant, again, is based upon a number of factors. And then on the impact fee, as you notice, it is based on so much per square foot.
Yeah.
And then whatever, if they're part of our system, they would pay, our water system, they would pay some sort of tap-in or connection fee. So it's all part of the process. Where I really thought you was headed is on those communities that we do inspections, the Waltervilles, the others, we would not be able to collect the fee, only in the unincorporated part of Liberty County. I thought that's where we were going, but I want to add clarity there.
Only part in the country, not in the cities.
Yes, sir.
So, and the fee is associated for residential, it's just by dwelling unit. So the size is, there's nothing that needs to be submitted in terms of size, but for any non-residential use, 30,000 square foot office, then the fee is calculated, and then internally, then it is then submitted to the finance department. It's allocated by each of the public safety categories, et cetera. And those are dedicated funds. They have to be used on projects that are in the capital improvements element that was approved by DCA. And so the parks portion of the funds has to be used to expand the park system, for example, as the community grows. And so there, for accountability purposes, there's a defined set of projects that the fees must be used on. There's a direct correlation, in other words, is what I'm getting at with the fee intake and how it can be used across
Kinda
various
like an
public
enterprise
services.
Kind of like enterprise fund got dedicated to.
Right,
But I mean, that would
there's
be
no
dedicated
discretion
to
there.
that particular subdivision. Now, we just, we talked about square foot, and then we're talking about stormwater runoff, and then we're talking about maintaining a retention pond. So there's a lot of things that tie into it that, I hadn't got time to ask all the questions that, I'll see you one day when,
By the time we finish, you have answer a lot of questions.
well,
We're still about,
I understand.
Yeah,
we're
sure.
getting closer, but we still got some ways to go yet.
The idea tonight is, and we talk about considering the ordinance, but it's just introducing, and I know I've thrown a ton at you. I was just trying to get some ideas across about ultimately what the ordinance entails, and then getting down to the point of having to make decisions on what the fees look like. Here are some approaches that we could look at, building off of the recommendation made by the advisory committee to go low.
You got it.
You got it?
Got that.
So again, next steps you can see here, just to reiterate then, ultimately, the CIE document that has the authorized projects would be adopted in conjunction with the ordinance that would have the fee schedule to help pay for those projects. The ordinance ultimately would also need to include an effective date of when the impact fees would take effect. That's something that we would need to shore up before the ordinance is adopted. So this was meant as an introduction to the hearing, and so my part, for now at least, is done, and happy to entertain any more questions as the chairman sees fit.
Do we have anyone to sign in, Ms. Maria? Anyone sign in to speak for the public hearing? No? Okay, all right, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
So we'll-
Appreciate all of your
We'll see you
time.
again when?
The 21st.
Okay, all right, okay, let's see if we can walk it. We talked about the impact fees to offset infrastructure and new development, whatever comes as part of new development in unincorporated Liberty County outside the city limits. This is a way, and other communities are doing it, to help to offset the cost of putting in those infrastructure needs. And when I say infrastructure, I don't just mean roads, I mean whatever this development requires. But it has to have the committee, which you saw the names on the committee, those persons, advisory committee. They've met, she's gathered some comparable rates from communities that have an impact fee. We saw what those are. So we got a select number between 2,000 and what, 2,500?
Yes, sir.
Got to have a second public hearing, got to decide on how we're going to apply the impact fees, those categories. A second public hearing,
And she said that second public hearing, we would adopt the, if y'all want to move forward, adopt the ordinance and the CIE. And then, y'all don't necessarily have to adopt the rates that night, but you at least have that component of it.
Okay.
Y'all wanted to, y'all could, but y'all
and
could.
then a tentative start date.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
But Chair, but now, the rates can't go no higher than
Well,
what?
we can.
We
she's
can
just-
go
She's
higher.
just trying to keep them
Comparable,
Comparable,
area.
okay.
comparable, comparable.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're not trying to run anybody away, just trying to ensure that we get some help with this development, okay? Because we can't do it all from ad valorem. We'll all get run out of town. So.
But, excuse me, Mr. Chair, though, a quick question. If we don't adopt the fees on the 21st, and if a developer or,
Business as usual, yeah.
so we still just let them without, with it, what?
Until such time as we,
Adopt it.
yes,
But we already have one
business as usual.
avenue in place, and that's in the industrial area. I mean, that's
Yeah,
already been
right.
established.
Yeah,
But that's a
that's different.
separate, yeah, right, that's
That's
just for the.
Talking about
trade-
with the industrial authority?
Trade port, remember we put that fee in
Right.
place.
That's
Yeah.
already there.
That's there,
There's
yes.
a fee that's established there,
That's there.
and now we're gonna have,
But we
Other
would
little
not, growth is more than just industrial, it's all over the county, people are moving in here every day. Yeah, I agree, a lot of them moving into the urban areas, but they also, some moving in Commissioner Blunt's district and Commissioner Stevens' district. I hear about it all the time, people moving in from other areas, so, so as the county develops, we have to be innovative. And really, we just getting on board with other communities, they're ahead of us, and we're playing
Urban
catch-up.
areas.
We're playing catch-up, so, and we're trying to make it fair. Trying to make it fair.
What's poolers? Do they have pooler on here?
They probably have,
They got so much money
they
there.
probably
In
have
Bloomingdale.
other fees too.
Bloomingdale.
All right,
So, Mr. Chair, if you come out of the public hearing.
motion to come out of public hearing, back in the
Move,
regular
Mr. Chair.
session.
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. All right, back in the regular session. All right, Mr. Sharp, come say hello to us.
Again?
How y'all doing? We just following up from the meeting from the 17th of July about the resolution to waive penalties and interest from delinquent tax accounts.
Now, give us just a little bit more so the general public would know a little more what you.
So our delinquent taxes we have delinquent taxes going back to 1998, and we are trying to clean all that up. 7 years is the statute of limitations on that. So we want to put a resolution in place so we can get rid of that off our books and then focus on our most recent delinquent tax, which is probably our biggest part of collections right now. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Sharp, how much money are we talking about?
That would be written off, about $4.1 million.
Oh, Lord.
Give them an idea of where most of that comes from.
From 2016 to 1998. And the statute of limitations is 7 years. So even if we got rid of that money, we're still at least 6 million delinquent, which is a majority of 23 and 24 taxes.
How many, how many residents that's supposed to be in Liberty County but has burnt, they move away and they did not report anything? How much you just roughly think that is?
For what, say it again?
Houses that burnt down and they did not make a report to say they lost their house, but they're still.
That would
it's-
probably be a question for your tax assessors department.
Yeah, he would keep.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sharp?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Sharp. So this is just, I'm getting confused here. We're writing off the taxes and the penalties and interests?
Yeah, because a lot of the delinquent from those years that we can, are tax, our penalties and interest. So that'll give us the ability to override all those taxes and interest.
Can't we just sell their property? I mean, can't you just put a lien on it like
I mean,
we have, you
in
know?
theory, some of that, but then some of that is still people that are delinquent within those 7 years.
That's what I'm thinking. If they're
Oh,
delinquent now,
we've
they'll
been
probably
having,
be
well, you gotta
delinquent
remember, we had a
this
tax
year.
sale in March.
Yeah,
And we allow people to get put on payment plans, and they've been paying their amount down, and we plan on having another one. And there's a 3-month process that goes into having a tax sale. So I can really start going after 23, 20, those people. I'm still trying to collect taxes from before I was even in office.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. A lot of this was before, you know.
Correct.
So that folks in the audience and live stream would know that this has just been a built-up. But I don't know, that's a lot of money. I think we need
I mean, but we
to
wouldn't,
try and
we've been
collect
trying to collect it, and you're talking
or
about
sell
money
the
from
property.
I
I mean, just
1998.
sell it.
We just can't just.
What do we have to do
sell
to
it.
sell it?
Yeah,
They have to not
Go
pay their
after it.
tax, and we just have to put them in the tax sale.
Do what now?
That's it. We just have to put them in the tax sale, that's all. If
And
they're
then if they don't
delinquent,
pay it, then we just,
put it on the courthouse steps.
well, I think
I
that's
think we should,
pretty
that's the route
simple.
to go.
But we've already been
Couple of
moving in that
stamps.
we're already
But what-
moving in that
But
direction.
what he's saying, a large part of this is beyond the, what's the word, statute of limitations.
Right.
Well, yeah, definitely, and that's what the most years come back, we got. we
And it's
shouldn't
not
have-
just the taxes, and the
Mhm,
penalties,
and
so it
penalties
makes the
and
number
interest.
even.
So it makes it even worse.
So actually, that's where the 7 years come in at.
Correct.
Is some of that mobile homes too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if they were delinquent in 1998, those people are still delinquent in 2024.
I mean, well,
So
some of
just
those,
sell it. If they ain't gonna pay,
we're in the process
If
of
they
a
show up on
tax.
the
I've
list-
had one tax, I've been in office for 7 months, I've already had one tax.
Yeah.
now you
Okay.
doing
But
good.
you're right.
So we're trying
doing
to,
good.
But I think a point's
gotta
well
have
taken.
another one, and we
If-
gotta get to that point.
If those
to where
people are
we
still on the
can.
list, they would go up for the tax sale.
Correct,
They
most
need to.
definitely, most definitely.
If I'm paying, they need to pay.
Well, that's what we've been working
And I
on.
think that's the majority of the people
Yes,
in Liberty County.
most definitely.
But
And I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
It's falling
Thank you.
behind now, it's on you.
he's playing.
And you're
I
right.
wanna collect it, and I
Cleaning
think
it up.
it's,
You're cleaning it.
But Mr. Chair, just real quick, just for clarification, what you're saying is you just can't collect from 98,
No.
from 7 years back.
so the furthest we should be going back is 2017, 18?
Absolutely.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is if I owed from 98 to 2024, you can only collect from 2019, right?
Correct.
From statutes of limitation.
Which also
That's the only
cleans,
thing you're saying.
that cleans that up.
Right,
Us
right.
being
So,
able to do that.
so what I'm saying is this resolution is just for talking about the stuff that's
Taxes and
7 years
penalties.
and
I
beyond.
mean, correct.
Right.
Because we can write stuff off.
Right.
We can't write that stuff off.
You
But
understand?
this will
'Cause
allow us to clean up.
That
the
part that you can't
elder-
collect in anyway.
Actually, the part that is probably the most
I
out of.
think my county attorney wants to come to the podium. I see
Oh,
him.
come on.
I asked him up, Mr. Chair. I asked him to come closer.
Yeah.
Historical context. First of all, it's good to
Thank
see
you,
you guys in
Kelly.
person.
Good to see you.
I've missed you.
Billy.
But just historical context, the tax commissioner, under state law, this board of commissioners can give discretion to the tax commissioner to waive penalties and interest if he feels there's reasonable cause. And that's very helpful when he's trying to compromise tax debt. And you have given the prior tax commissioner that authority, some years ago. And so arguably that authority, your delegation of that authority is still valid. But I think the current tax commissioner, Commissioner Sharp, thought it was appropriate to come back before you so you could ratify that authority. And that's what this current resolution does. It just continues his authority to waive penalties and interest. Now, the uncollectible taxes, that's a separate procedure. I don't know if It hasn't been done in quite a while.
Been a while.
But if you folks remember, every so often, the tax commissioner will come
He will
before
come.
you. He'll present a list.
They could do it twice.
Yep, of uncollectibles. And those are really accounts that are beyond the statute of limitations, which the tax commissioner really has no authority to collect. He's, it's difficult. And so it just remains on his books, and it's appropriate to clean those up. It's more a housekeeping matter than anything else. It's just recognizing that those debts are uncollectible. And we haven't done that in quite some time, but I think the tax commissioner, if my understanding is correct, will get together that list, present it to you, and then you'll address that topic in a separate meeting. But tonight's is just ratifying, acknowledging his continued authority to compromise interest and penalties, which is very necessary for his job.
But for the general ordinance, go back to the question about why can't you sell the property that was delinquent in 1998?
Yeah, most civil actions, and this is civil action, it has what's called a statute of limitations, and that's the time period from when the action accrues, from when like the person failed to pay their taxes in this case, until you can use the courts to compel repayment, or when you can foreclose their property. Basically, when you have a right to bring suit to exercise any remedy you have, whether it's a business owner for collecting a debt or the tax commissioner collecting taxes. And so beyond a certain statute of limitation, which in this case is 7 years, the tax commissioner has no legal remedy to collect those. So as a matter of accounting, it's necessary every so often to bring those uncollectible accounts to you so that so that the Board of Commissioners, much like a business owner, can write off those taxes, those debts. So it's really just, it's standard operating procedure, a little bit of housekeeping. But tonight, just continuing his authority to waive penalties and interest in cases where he thinks is appropriate or where reasonable cause exists.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
In those 7 years that he's talking about, it's, did you say 4 million? Or between $4 and $6 million?
The back years are 4. Everything prior to 17.
Prior to
17 to 98.
17 to 98 is
So
4
that
million.
still puts our 7 years at like $6 million.
Yeah. And the statute of limitations, you can think of it as a look back. So from today, you would simply look back 7 years. Anything beyond that 7 years is uncollectible, unless there's some very, statute of limitations have been told or some very unusual circumstances.
And I'll just caveat that 2023 delinquent taxes, 3.5 million. So that's half of what, the 6 million that's still left if we write off everything else.
Okay.
And the 2023 is at 2.3 million. So it's $5.7 million already. Which those people will be getting tax sale notices if they haven't paid their taxes.
They need to,
They will be.
from here on out.
So the resolution to give him the authority to do that.
That was to clean the books.
And I know we're making it a two-part thing, but.
Oh, that's fine, perfectly
This
fine.
is.
I wanted to clear this up first.
This will be your day one.
Yeah, this is the first order of business I wanted to clean up.
So
when it
going
came
forward, you will do what you need to do to ensure
Right, because
that.
I'll actually be meeting with my vendor tomorrow to see if they can just clean it off at one time, or do we need to go in and
But
then.
let's empower the gentleman, Commissioner.
Yeah, I got a question on this right here too. I know Commissioner Gillard does, but Jamie, in the beginning, was it considered just a homeowner, just a homestead that you had so much time to go through? Because there's some of this that is not a homestead.
What are you-
That's not a house and
Some mobile homes?
yeah, I mean, there's also land across that interstate that taxes haven't been paid on.
Right,
And that's what I'm saying. I understand that you want to try to work with, and we do. Some people can't pay their taxes, and they can't for a couple of years, but after that third year, they need to be anteing up. I do. I mean,
okay.
if I don't pay my light bill for
You're- I
1
mean,
month,
you're
they're
right.
gonna come cut it off, but
So what's the question?
do what now?
What's the question? The question?
I'm just saying, how was the statute actually written, Kelly? Was it for when you're talking about county land, was it supposed to be a home? Or was it supposed to be a farm? Was it supposed to be,
All the above.
All real.
well, I mean, I don't know. Is that the way
All
it's
property,
written?
all personal property, all property that we collect ad valorem tax. on.
All
Yeah.
personal
Plus,
property?
there's
All all property. If we collect property tax on it through our office, then it's subject to be delinquent, it's subject to be sold. period.
Okay, and this is your sixth, seventh, eighth month?
Well, I go on into the.
Okay, well, how about bring us some money the 10th month? Okay?
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Said he
He
did one tax sale. Now, give him credit. He did one tax sale.
Yeah, I mean, well, you missed that part, Mr. Walton.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to do the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to let us know that he's on, but he has, this is his
I mean, well,
starting
everything
point.
has protocol, and so we
Yeah.
just can't say, oh, you're delinquent,
Yeah.
let's sell it.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
We
That's
understand.
illegal. Can't do that.
Mr. Chair, are you ready for a motion?
You had something?
Well, I just wanted to say, from what I gather, Mr. Sharp, is that, there's a, well, I think when you said the total was $4 million. And
That was what's,
Right, but it's $4 million, and you want to clean that up simply because we cannot collect it.
correct.
And I guess, I don't know how Mr. Donahue was gonna phase this in his paper, but someone heard $4 million, and they probably won't hear the fact that there's nothing we could do about it.
Yeah, right, correct.
But that's the fact. And you're here to, let us know that you wanted to clear that up so that we could get a fresh start for the most part.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Because even still, that $6-7 million is within the 7 years we can collect, which is a lot of money. So if we can collect that money, which we plan on doing,
Yeah, let's go for it.
we'll be good to go.
And I guess, you're gonna operate a little different, that we won't, hopefully that we won't get to that
Correct.
point again.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
By doing things.
Tax sales, yeah.
Yeah.
I at least
Right.
want to have 2 of those a year. So, and we're on pace to have our second one at the end of the year.
Okay.
Amy, I trust you.
I hope so.
I mean, really and truly, I want you to succeed.
Thank you, sir. I
and-
appreciate that.
And conquer and get the money.
We've got to write some off first.
Mr. Mosley?
And Mr. Chair, as y'all mentioned earlier, this is the first phase, and the second phase would be bringing the list back to y'all, for y'all to look and consider.
Yeah, I want to make sure I ain't on that list.
I hope not.
You would know if you were.
All right.
That's good.
The resolution would require I'm ready for a motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we move forward on a resolution to give our tax commissioner authority to waive ad valorem tax and penalties and interest for any property that was 7 years that we cannot collect anyway.
Second.
Motion second, we approve the resolution that I just say as presented.
You might want to amend it. The interest and penalties applies to all properties.
Yeah.
So if you just simply want to have a motion to adopt the resolution as presented, that would be the
That's
best
presented,
thing to do.
okay.
As presented.
Just, so moved with
Second.
I thought it said tax penalties and interest.
Any further discussion?
When in doubt, so moved.
So moved.
So move.
All in favor, show of hands, please. All right, where did he go? Mr. Sharp, appreciate your diligence, sir.
Thank you, guys.
We
I
look forward
appreciate
to-
it.
Look forward to that.
Jamie,
When will he
if
be
you need
back?
some help now, getting that, where's the law at? He was in there. Just get Darby. Darby will go with you.
I'm ready, sir. I'm ready.
When will he come back with the list of,
I'll have that for you by the end of August.
okay.
Hey,
Okay, good deal.
Commissioner Walden, it almost looked like we could let animal control go with them. Y'all will catch that later.
Engineering.
We back in a regular session. We at,
We are.
okay.
Okay, good evening.
Good
You guys asked me to bring back the subdivisions that had roadways that had not been accepted. We went through and went through a pretty exhaustive search to make sure we had everything covered in the list that I provided you today. Spreadsheet looks like this. So forgive me, I'm gonna try to run through these as quickly as I can and give you some ideas of cost and what each column means and what's on this chart. So basically, we gave you in the first column the subdivision name, then the road names within the subdivision that need to be accepted, whether it's an asphalt or a dirt road. And on each of the final plats, there are certificates of ownership and dedications, and we look for certain things on those plats to, where the county has accepted them for ingress and egress. We want to make sure those were on there as we're looking for it. And that'll come to play on two on the bottom. We have tried to put on here who the owner-developer was of the subdivision. We put a present value to repair the roads to meet the county standard. That's just a present value of what it would take to fix those roads and make them work and meet our standard now. And then I looked at, okay, what could you do now to move forward with these acceptances and still kind of stay within your budgetary restraints. So the trail subdivision, it's Main Trail and Trail South. It's off of 196 East. That's it right there. It's got Main Trail and Trail South. So that's about $1.2 million worth of work out there. That is probably our most dire roadways that are needing work. And what we would recommend is you take corrective action as soon as funding is available. The next one is Arcadia. Well, let me back up. And as far as accepting that, the original developer is available and can sign the deeds of dedication, and we can get that taken over relatively easy legally.
You know, I find it interesting, and I promise I'll try not to be long, that even though these developers have, for lack of a better word, defaulted, that's the only word that comes to mind, you still have to go to them to get their approval to receive the roads.
I mean, we never accepted it for maintenance. It was never deeded to us.
Trent.
It was deeded for ingress and egress, not ownership.
But if we did it without their approval, they could file suit against us, you think? They could?
I don't know. I've
at
never
least-
thought of that question, so I don't know the answer to that question.
Mr. Chairman,
At least raise sand?
Trent, is that your version of it, or is that the county attorney version of it, that they must still sign it over?
Well, that's the way we've been practicing over the years, is the developer that did the subdivision. When it comes time to deed the roads over, they do a deed of dedication to the county. And so I'm going back and doing what we've done historically over the last 20 years.
But currently, our ordinance has changed
Yes.
after
Right. We will.
so many years. When it's completed, it is the county's.
Yes, ma'am. Now, that option, that will be coming to you next month, I believe. I need to make sure that it's on the LCPC agenda for this month, because it needs to run through the process where it's heard, brought to you by the LCPC Planning Commission, and then you take action to change your Unified Development Ordinance.
Let me
But that is in the process too. That way we don't get into this scenario again.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, we've already took action on Arcadia, correct? You've got the deeds and all on that, Trent?
Well, let me get there.
All right, well, let me just ask you this.
No.
You got the cart in front of the horse here. Arcadia has already been, we've established that. But the other roads, of course, they look like they're all in Commissioner Stevens's area. But what are we going, how do we, to say, okay, Arcadia is gonna be one, are we gonna move then to, Ryan Estates and then Zorn Village? Or are we gonna stay in the same district?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present to you all the roads that meet the criteria for what we discussed at the last meeting, the direction you gave me for the roadways that have not been accepted for subdivisions throughout the county that need to be accepted.
Right.
Just like Arcadia, just like the trails, just like Ryan. So I'm going through and I'm presenting all of these roadways to you.
Okay.
And I'm presenting to you who the developers are. We have a deed prepared for some of them. Well, for almost all of them, we have deeds. We're in the process of getting things signed. So if you'll let me get to Arcadia, I'll answer your question.
Okay. Well, that's A is Arcadia, so that's the first one we ought to be looking at.
No.
Unless you want to go
Chairman,
to
That's
X.
not what he said.
That is a decision that you
That's
guys
not what he
make,
said.
not me.
Okay, go ahead.
Chairman Lovett.
Let him walk through it.
This
Before we
is-
go any further, from your knowledge, did we actually approve to accept Arcadia in the vote? It was a consensus, not a vote. So we need to go back and clean that up before we accept any of them.
I think he's gonna walk us through all that.
Let me walk through these. That way you'll know
Look
what
through
we
the-
have.
through the minutes
and
of
you'll know
July
where we
1st,
stand,
real
okay?
quick.
Go ahead, sir.
So, Mr. Rogers, we've been in contact with Mr. Rogers. He's gonna come to our office tomorrow and sign a copy of a deed. We'll bring the deed back to you at our next meeting once we have that done. Arcadia subdivision has 3 roads: Arcadia Drive, Youngblood Drive, Hughes Drive. This is a pretty good price if you try to fix it and bring it all up now. We can defer some of that, do some improvements now. I show in the column to the right, estimated amounts to do a little bit of work out there now, get it passable, and we can defer some of the repairs on it for a little while as development occurs. We also have, Mr. Ray did execute a deed to Liberty County, and I gave everyone a copy. It's underneath what you have. It looks like this. So once we get through the process, if you guys choose to vote to accept the deed, then that would make that official. That way you can do that, and it would clean up the question that Commissioner Stevens has. Seabrook Island Road, Seabrook Island, that's a little subdivision off Seabrook Island Road that was done by Seabrook Island Incorporated, which is also Mr. Harry Rogers. It's not in bad shape, but it's got a little bit of work that needs to be done. But it could be taken over, and we could defer some of the maintenance on that, clean up, just clean the drainage system and sweep it and cut trees back and stuff like that. Lakeshore Village, there's a road called Joy Lane. We have taken over almost all the other roads that are off of that road that Mr. Leon Braun Sr. built years and years ago. All we would have to do on that one is take over grading on that particular roadway. It's not in the best shape, but we could start grading it and it'll be fine. And Mr. Leon Braun Jr. is available to sign that and send that to us. So we can send that to him, get that signed, and get that back to you. Angler's Edge is a subdivision out on Colonel's Island. It's right over here. Mr. Joel Rushing was the developer on that, and it's not in bad shape. Current value to bring it up to speed now is going out, fixing some cracks and things in the road. That could be deferred, and we could put that off to a later date and work on it as we can. Now, I've tried to put a timeline. That one, we probably need to do something within 3 to 5 years. Otherwise, it's gonna fall apart worse, and then our capital outlay is gonna be greater. So then you can go to Bermuda Bluff. That subdivision is not in terrible shape. It looks terrible when you drive through because all the grass and trees and vegetation are starting to grow over the road, but the roadway itself is not in bad shape. That is S.C. Sykes LLC. And Mr. Sykes is available, and we'll be contacting him to work on a deed on that. Zorn Village was quite a surprise for us. Ever since I've been here, we have considered Zorn Village a private road. And as we were researching this, pulling minutes, we found back in 1988 that the Board of Commissioners accepted Zorn Village Road to be maintained. And there's minutes and a deed that we found that we couldn't find 20 years ago when we looked at this. It wasn't on the list and we didn't find it, but I informed the road superintendent today that
Ours.
obviously it's ours.
Which one are you talking about now?
Zorn Village Road, it's out in Gun
Off
Branch.
196.
Of 196.
Good road.
Where's that at, Ms. Thrift?
Right up
It's-
on the hill of Zorn.
Yeah,
The
it's
Zorn's
right before you
old
get to
place.
Gun Branch, right there.
Got a sign that says,
Ryan Estates is a subdivision off of J. Reed Road. It's in really good shape. We already do inspections of the the storm drainage system. We can as part of our NPDS. Very low risk for us to be able to get that. Working with the county attorney and everybody trying to figure out who signs that. Because it was William McDonald and Dwayne Wells were partners on it. Mr. Wells is available to sign, but Mr. McDonald is deceased, so I've got to figure out how that comes over to us to make that work. Cross Creek,
wife is handling.
I'm sorry?
I heard that his wife is handling,
Yes, yes, sir. So, but I just got to make sure that we do it the right way. Cross Creek, which is on Highway 84, just as you go into Midway. You remember that road's kind of been, subdivision been in and out. It's got a lot of problems, and I believe that those people have been to us before trying to get it accepted. It's quite a bit of money out there to fix that road and get it up to speed. You can defer it until you can find some funding, but I would suggest that we try to find funding as soon as we can for that. Again, working to make sure that we have the correct people signing to transfer that to you guys. Richmond Pass, which is a subdivision that's just outside of Midway on Charlie Butler Road. It was done by Dryden Enterprises, and it is time. Their 11th month is over, and they just haven't come ask us yet. We've notified them, and they will be signing those over, and those are ready to go. So those won't take, they're up to standard now. So from the trails down to Richmond Pass, those are pretty much ready to go. We're working on who signs, and then we can bring, as we get those signed, I will be bringing those to you for you to take them and accept them and vote to accept the deed. Beulah Land and Half Moon Plantation. So Beulah Land, they have been to us asking us to take it over for maintenance. It is very clear on the final plat of the subdivision that it is a private subdivision not to be maintained by Liberty County. And if we were to try to take it over for maintenance, we would need to do most all of this work just to get it to a point that we could maintain it. So I don't think this meets the criteria that you guys presented or asked me to look at, because it does say that it is a private subdivision, and it really falls in a different category as whether you take it or not take it and how that goes. So I'm suggesting for that and Half Moon Plantation, it also says very clearly on the plat for Half Moon Plantation that it is a private road to be maintained by the HOA and not by Liberty County. So as far as this procedure that we're going through now, I'm recommending that we do not include Beulah Land and we do not include Half Moon Plantation. And the only reason I put them on this list is because they have been brought up before during this conversation of which ones we were looking at. And I wanted to bring up why I'm recommending that we don't include them. So on this list, we'd start at the trails and go down to Richmond Pass. So, like I said, we've got a signed deed for Arcadia. We could clear that up tonight. I will have the trails, Seabrook Island, and maybe a couple more before my mid-month meeting, but as people, I'm able to get a hold of them and get them to sign, I can bring them to you as I get those subdivisions and get those cleaned up and get the paperwork cleaned.
Trent, as you and I were talking the other day, county taking over these subdivisions, these roadways, we have an issue with individual parking tractor trailers on these roads. Will we be able to get a grip on that now?
No, sir,
I mean,
think
'cause
that's
if not, they're gonna go in and tear it up anyway.
That's a different problem and a different animal.
But it's
that we
gonna
have
tear
to
up the
take.
road, and then we still gonna have to go back and repair it again.
Well, so under our new standards, when we fix the roads and bring them up to standard, we're building them so that they can handle some of the passes from the transfer trucks. You know, it's not gonna handle like a highway number of traffic turns, but, you know, a few transfer trucks here or there is not gonna hurt the roadways. Now, where they park and they're turning around and doing different things, of course, the transfer trucks are not intended to be on our residential roads on a daily basis. That's not the intent. So, nor do we have our specifications set up so that our residential roads pass that number of transfer trucks during the course of a day. Now, parking on the roads is a whole nother issue that I don't think that, I think it opens up a bigger can of worms than I can really discuss tonight, or, you know, we could be off topic very quickly with parking on the roadways.
I'm curious as to what the ordinance would say if it addressed that. No, it does in some cities address that. I'm not sure what it does for us in the county. We have to check that to see what's said or if anything is said. But I do know some of our cities by ordinance don't allow you to park your 18-wheeler in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Right, Mr. Chair,
Yeah, now,
LCPC.
we prohibit like parking 18-wheelers and daily traffic in there.
We prohibit it,
Making
but they still
deliveries,
do it.
They're gonna have to make
It
deliveries.
becomes a, what's the
I mean,
word?
that's what you're saying, right?
Right, so
But because it's a private road
private road
we
now,
can't do
now the
anything.
county is gonna take it over,
It
so
becomes
where,
an enforcement issue. You know, you have to.
It becomes an enforcement.
Yeah,
Right,
call
okay.
the sheriff's department, or send our
That was making me feel old real quick.
inspections office people downtown.
I could have sworn we
but,
addressed that.
Chairman, let me say this to the board. Those truckers come in this time of night. Code enforcement is gone. They're gone home. The next morning, they crank up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they're gone. Code enforcement comes to work at 8 o'clock. The street is tore up.
Yes, sir. You know, we could look at our enforcement of that, and that we may have to involve the sheriff's department or other people to help enforce that during the non-standard business hours.
8 to 5, 9 to 5.
You're only gonna know if someone
The truckers,
turns them in, otherwise you won't
they
know
come
they're
in from
doing
8
that.
to 5.
Yeah. Code enforcement can't sit out there and,
Code enforcement's not gonna sit there after hours, no,
yeah.
sir.
Well, if
So,
someone,
but this is a separate enforcement
If it's
issue
report-
than
it
what we're
is.
trying to do.
It is, it is.
but I'm saying even if it is after hours and, someone is aware of it, then whoever runs the code enforcement office,
Right.
he could go
Go
out
back to
there
it.
at 6 o'clock on a Saturday or 5:30 on a Sunday. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
that's his job. If he runs that department, it's just a matter of getting a call. I mean, I got somebody on call right now, and we've been closed since 4 o'clock. But if there's a reason to go, then you go if that's your job. So, I mean, it ain't that, like they sneaking around under the cover of darkness going down there.
And I think that's an enforcement issue.
It is.
Different than what we're talking about.
Right.
So-
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Something Mr. Moses can handle, talking to the
Yeah, yeah.
code,
Who's the code enforcement guy?
I don't know the name.
Well, whoever it is, if somebody
female.
complain about a transfer truck being down there, call him, and he'll go down there and handle it, and that's taken care of.
You should.
Should go down.
Well, he should, well, it's his job to go down there.
Now,
Okay.
Chairman, okay, go ahead. Chairman Trent, you got all these numbers down here, you don't have a total figure.
No, sir.
It's a lot.
If you do this, it's a little over $8 million.
Now, where would this money come from?
That's a good question. Not all gonna come right now.
No,
It is
still.
part-
Oh,
it is
here
part-
we
Still,
go.
It's gonna
But
have to
still,
come
where
over.
would it come from?
Process.
I
but it
know,
can happen.
It's gonna have to come over time.
I know where we headed. I know where we headed.
It's gonna have to come over time.
Ms. Chair, but just for clarification, I know we put an ordinance in place for the acceptance of roads. We did that a couple years ago, right? Right? So, in other words, all of these subdivisions were built prior to that, correct?
Yes.
For the most part?
Yes, sir. Well, except for like Richmond Pass, it was built under those codes. It's just coincides,
It's going, we're
But
going
it-
to
yeah,
do this
with,
one.
with the time we're doing this, the time they're gonna normally do it.
Yeah, but it meets the standard, so it's all right.
And Zorn Village?
Zorn Village was built a long time
It
ago.
said 88.
Yeah,
88.
All right.
good thing we looked at.
So.
Somebody
but-
did it well.
Right. So you're telling me Zorn Village in 88, they did it right?
They did.
They had to.
They did.
There's no cost involved.
Nope.
Pretty
This is ours.
interesting.
Commissioner Gill,
Trent, I have a question. Now, we're trying to clean up and try to get all the things that wasn't accepted.
Yes, sir.
And you put Beulah Land on here, and you said that because it came up in the past, and I do remember it did come up in the past. And you're recommending that, that we don't add it because you said it's private?
Very
Okay,
clearly
but-
states it's private.
And for years, we've been screaming that all this other stuff was private too, right?
Right.
Well, they're
They have a
They've
HOA.
never been adopted for maintenance.
Which
Yeah,
made
they've
them.
never been dedicated
Well,
for
between
maintenance.
public and private, which one were they?
So they.
Private.
Either one?
So, yes, so.
Yes
The way
to
the way
neither
it all
one?
works, I'm trying to answer your question
Okay.
the most correct way.
Okay.
So all the plats said that the roadways were dedicated to Liberty County for ingress and egress.
Okay.
Does not say they're accepted for maintenance. And for history, we've always accepted roadways for maintenance after the warranty period as a separate action item. So what's happened is the subdivisions got accepted for ingress and egress, but not for maintenance. So they're never really dedicated by deed to Liberty County. So in actuality, really are owned by the original developer that developed the subdivision. So,
Dead.
Who dropped the ball?
well, there was never really a process. The developer, it's onus on them to request that the county take it over for maintenance. So it is not any one county's responsibility to say, hey, it's time to take this one over for maintenance.
Now, Commissioners.
And I don't know if that answered my question. I know if it did, I didn't understand. What I was saying is that we have a list of roads that we weren't maintaining because at least I understood them to be private.
Not accepted, yeah.
That they were not accepted. Now, you say egress, ingress, you know, I understand that part. But they were not ours. And we voted last month to make them ours.
Yes.
Okay, and Beulah Land and Half Moon are not ours.
No, sir, because they say private.
And we tonight, based on your recommendation, we gonna leave them as not ours.
Yes, sir.
And the reason that we're doing that is because of what now?
Clearly on the plat, when it was subdivided, it
Okay.
clearly says on the plat that the subdivision is to be a private subdivision maintained by the property owners.
And so they'll never be ours. We can't.
I guess unless they come and
We
request.
can't.
There's a whole different process we'll need to go through to get
They can
this.
come and request consideration.
Yeah, they can come and request, we have to go through a different
But the
process.
reason they was on here, you said because someone came here before asking that, so you wouldn't consider that a request?
That person, well, so, remember on Beulah Land, what ended up happening is we told them, yes, we will make the improvements if you get everybody to sign over their portion of the roadways. And we prepared deeds and plats for everybody to sign, and we gave them copies. We spent a lot of money getting them what they needed to get Liberty County to take it over for maintenance. And they weren't able to get, I don't even think they were able to get even half.
Yeah, some, the folk didn't want it.
Mr. Chairman.
That Beulah Land. Yeah.
That's Beulah Land.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Half Moon Plantation, I'm not sure how it kind of came creeped into our conversations.
I don't know who-
But I don't know that I've ever received a request
I don't
from
remember
their
hearing
HOA
that.
to bring it up.
Chairman, can I share a little bit of light on that?
Half Moon?
No, on Beulah. Beulah was one of the subdivisions first one that came before me when I became a commissioner.
Yeah.
Okay? Collins and, was A.G. Wells?
Yeah.
And they expressed a concern during that time that they did not want it paved, okay? But our last meeting, or the July 1st meeting, there was a great concern about emergency vehicles going in, like on the trails, and damaging the trucks. If you go down Beulah, it's gonna be worse than the trails. So do we continuously send our emergency equipment down the trail, down Beulah, damage it, or do we try to include it in this list?
That's a call that you guys will have to make.
Almost sounds like it needs a legal interpretation.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question, because Trent, you were saying Beulah and Half Moon, from looking at this list, they have a HOA. Is it?
Half Moon does.
I thought you said
I'm not sure how
Beulah too.
active the HOA is at Beulah.
Okay,
You just have the plat that states it should be private and not maintained.
okay. Well, in my notes, I wrote down both of them, okay. And that's what I was gonna say, Mr. Chair. I think we need to let the legal counsel look at that because, you know, dealing with HOAs get a little tricky.
HOAs is nothing but a name.
Just remember
bunch of
this.
letters put together.
I will learn this from working in medical. Sometimes your heart is in the right place, you're trying to do
Right.
something. If you're not careful,
And that's what I'm telling
you
you.
will find yourself held liable for something where you're just trying to help people. So you better get some good legal interpretation on that before you make any move on that. I've been there, done that.
And all I was, reason I was saying that, you know, for us to not, make them a part of this list is that, you know, for years, we didn't do anything
Nothing.
for these other ones.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we had a change of heart and
Thank you.
decided to offer generosity, to all the ones that's been, beating us, you know, coming here all the time, please, please, please. And we said yes. And then here's some other ones that's in the same boat, but it may be some other stipulations in there. And I was just trying to say if we could do it. I mean, you know, we ain't paving none of them in the morning anyhow. You know, they're gonna be on the list. All of these that we accepted, until we get, what you said, $81 million?
8 million.
8 million, okay, well, but it's the same thing. If we ain't got 8, we definitely don't have 81. Yeah, but we, I just can't imagine, that generosity not going there. But if they don't want it, fine. And if we can't do it, fine. But,
That one just needs-
we had reasons for not doing the trails for years. And then we decided that we're gonna do the trails. Okay, so, and I was just saying that I can't imagine, if the roads are as bad as Commissioner Stevens said they are, I can't imagine somebody says, oh, man, no, we want to have a ditch in front of our house. And, you know, we like it like that.
Been several years, so their hearts may have changed by now, you know.
I couldn't imagine, them not ever wanting it, but.
Trent, you want me to go down there and talk to him and put it on your bill?
There you go. That works.
All right, I want to move forward now. So we have the lists, we have the numbers.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for your notes to the right that tells us, but you know, y'all, what I generally like to do is, I call it low-hanging fruit, where the easy ones to get done, and then, and do the others. But now, but the million-dollar question, I remember both of these gentlemen to my left here saying, all right, but we have to figure out how we're gonna pay for it. So I know we have some TSPLOST funds, but I'm kind of feeling like Commissioner Stevens, Gillard, and Blunt, will you all serve like as a subcommittee and bring back us a recommendation on how we can proceed working with Mr. Mosley and finance, so we'll know. But remember now, some of you have respective TSPLOST balances, budgets, allocations. The other TSPLOST has already been pre-assigned, so we don't touch that now. That's at 30% to the top. But those that are not assigned, you might look at that and see where we can, you know, I know we like to collaborate when we can. But let's see where we can get a start. But y'all bring it back to us what your recommendations are.
So you mean a recommendation on who goes first?
Wait, now, Trent, now you kind of have done that, just tell me straight, you kind of have done that based on how you put it on this list.
Well, the first two, yes, and then for the most part, yes, sir. They're kinda. Yes, sir.
Y'all meet with Trent.
Sorry, I'm waffling on that, but.
Let them meet with you,
Yeah,
Trent.
because I didn't intend to put these on like a priority list
Okay.
in the direction that I did.
More reason, okay. Gillard,
Did a good
Blunt,
job,
and Stevens,
You
if
did a
y'all
good
want
job.
Okay.
meet, and then get with finance also, because, so Samantha can tell you what the numbers look like from
So
TSPLOST.
you want us to,
Bring back a recommendation.
a priority list?
Yeah, in fact, if you can't give us more than one option,
Okay.
okay?
But I think Trent should make sure that the owner developer sign them over.
Well, you're right. That's part of
the Rays have.
Yeah, that's part of, yeah, if you don't have the D's, then.
Then there's no
That was
sense
not
in
the top
looking
of
at
the list.
numbers.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. You want more time to work on the D's before y'all meet, or what?
Well, I will tell you real quick, the Cross Creek, I'm worried, on the Cross Creek and Rhine Estates.
Gonna take you
Are
some
the
time.
only ones they're the ones that I have most concern about as far as making sure I get the ownership right. Almost all the rest, I can get in touch with the original developer to sign.
Now,
So maybe y'all can report back at the September mid-month.
Okay.
Okay.
the one that's, Beulah Land, you can't get in touch with them, but
Mr. Stevens said he's gonna,
I heard Commissioner Stevens, but
Right.
I voted on that with Reverend Anderson. That's when it came up.
No, it came up after then.
No, it came up
No,
with
no.
Reverend Anderson
No,
and
no,
myself.
no, no, you were around.
96 and
And-
97.
And it was Bobby Collins
That's
and
right, I
A.G.
was sitting right
Wells
here.
that had it, and they did not want the road paved. They did not want anybody on it because they had water lines from one side of the road all the way through the other one. And I told them, I said, we'll accept it, but we will never look after the roads. And Mr. Wells said, that's the way I want it. We'll scrape the roads.
Do
And you
you,
can go back and look in the minutes. It's in
I
there.
think we need to go back and look in the minutes.
It actually says that on the final plat too.
Okay. But I was the one that was up here.
all right. All right,
Reverend Anderson was in the
let's
ground.
move forward. Bring back, recommendation mid-month
Yes.
September, please.
Just send
Okay.
us a date
Electronic copy.
to meet with you, Trent.
Yeah,
Okay,
email.
so you want me to coordinate with the three?
Yes.
Yeah.
To
this-
set that
yeah,
together.
this-
Mosley
this-
and
okay.
Samantha.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, we'll pull that together.
Okay.
Now, okay. We have one deed already tonight
yeah,
for
that
Arcadia.
is,
Do you want to take care of that, or do you want to wait and do this all at the same time?
Commissioners, what's your pleasure? You want to take care of the,
We can do it as he
Now,
gets them. I don't have a problem with
Chairman
him
Lovett,
doing this
just for clarification, board members. I think the question that I had was the last meeting, some said we did vote it to accept Arcadia. I don't have a problem with that. I think we just need to do it the right way. Because according to the minutes and according to the recording, only thing we voted on then was to do the rezoning. That was it. We just need to do it the right way up here
Okay, I'll
on the
make a
board.
motion.
Hold on a minute, Commissioner Thrift. If you look at your district as much as you look at this project, we'll be all right.
I'm all right.
Okay, all
My
right.
district's good.
Now, that's all I'm saying. Let's do it right, so that keep us out of trouble.
yeah. Trent, didn't you say by, and because it's not a legal opinion, you said if we accept the deed, then that
Then it becomes ours.
then becomes ours? Okay.
So that will be the vote that it becomes ours. Then I just need to get you, I've got the original back at the office, I'll bring it over for you to sign.
well,
And then that way we can
Move forward.
move forward.
yeah, well, I mean, we want it to be ours.
Right.
And whether we cross that T or dotted that I, whenever, we gonna cross that T. And if we did it, then we gonna do it again, and so it'll be double ours. So
Let's do it that way and be safe. Okay?
Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we accept Arcadia subdivision.
Second.
Motion second, we accept the deed as presented for Arcadia subdivision.
So, Mr. Chairman, I do have a question concerning these minutes, because I did see that, Mr. Mosley. So what does that mean in that paragraph? Does they have to bring it up to standard, or are we bringing it in the minutes from July 1st?
Because actually, the motion then was to follow the recommendation of LCPC, right?
Okay,
Right?
that is correct.
Right.
All right, but now, the recommendation from LCPC with special conditions was that the owner would pave that road.
That was a recommendation from LCPC?
Right.
That they would bring it up
And
to
then
county
we-
standards.
Right, and then we followed, my motion was we follow the recommendation of LCPC.
But that wasn't the consensus of the board at that
It
time,
wasn't,
because we had
yeah.
like 15, 20 minutes
discussion.
of discussion.
Oh, no.
And there was supposed to have been a period behind
It was-
something there.
It was 35 minutes of it.
Where? What sentence does that say?
We talked about the period.
Yep.
Before consideration of final plat, submission of existing street shall be dedicated to county and the county engineer.
Because I went to LCPC today and it wasn't.
Well, they told me
This wasn't
different.
right.
But at the end of the
They
day.
told me
But
different.
I mean, if we need to restate the motion now, if we need to restate the motion now, since he wants,
It's really a moot point, because we're gonna take it over
Take it
anyway.
over.
but, so we're
Oh, I
taking it
understand.
over, we're
But to
taking it
clarify the
over.
record, clean the record up. we
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
do it
clean,
differently.
we're taking it over,
Right.
and we got a price to
Bring it up to standard.
bring it up to standards. So it will be a county road, and the county will
Right.
We'll do the
pay for
improvements.
the, bringing it up to standards, because it's a county road. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see in the minutes next
Who
month.
made the motion?
I did.
Connie
Did?
did.
Okay.
It went in the minutes tonight.
All right, we got that, sir? Sir,
approve
ma'am?
them as-
Okay.
I know.
All right,
but
everybody
I-
clear?
we want- we
I
need to-
think I'm
Accepting the
clear, I've
deed,
heard it
and we will
enough.
set the full
Oh, we
responsibility
gonna-
for the road.
This is done.
Yeah,
Any discussion?
Sure hope we push
All in
the other
favor, show of
districts like
hands.
that.
Since we have our numbers now, we want the numbers back, so he brought the numbers back for us.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the numbers back.
Now, just a matter of the committee giving us the,
And you gonna let us,
Direction.
you gonna
Yeah, I'll send
send
out
us an
a-
email?
I'll send out a survey to see when everybody can meet, and then.
The
get
three
that
of
done.
us, you, Mr. Mosley, and Samantha.
yes.
A little Georgia history.
Where's Samantha? We couldn't meet right after this meeting.
A little Georgia history, that's where county commissioners came from. We were commissioned over the roads.
Revenue and roads.
Road commissioner.
I'm trying to tell you,
Revenue,
boss.
you gotta have the revenue.
So long that all, sir?
you learned that.
I hope so.
Thank you, sir. Thank
I
you
learned
for-
that in class. Yes, I did. I learned that going to ECCG.
Thank you for doing the research for us.
Yes, sir. I'll bring the
Email, Trent.
Oh, I got some questions for you. You can go ahead.
All right.
Oh, Lord, have
New
mercy.
business, Mr. Darby.
Oh, goodness.
We read the paper.
This ain't
I
good.
did, I told Trent 2 minutes. Just to be clear, I did tell him 2 minutes. So, Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. Tonight I'm coming before you on 2 topics. One is an update on the City of Midway Fire Department. Effective July 1st of 2025 at 2:10 PM, 1410 hours for our military folk. The Georgia State Fire Standards and Training Council did unanimously reinstate the Midway Fire Department in their compliance. So they are currently an active, running, operating fire department. So hats off to them. We will be closing out our bills with them. I'll be closing that out with finance to get to the city. There have been no issues with payments, just so everybody's clear. But that is done. We will be working together. I have met with Chief Craig Reynolds, who is the fire chief for Midway, and we will be talking.
Is that the one from New York City?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We will be talking, mutual aid agreements. These are agreements that we have with all of our surrounding fire departments, and getting things established in black and white, make sure that we're doing things. So don't be shocked if I do come before you between Liberty County and the city of Midway, but these are for agreements in the future. So we are working those in the background. Myself and Chief Reynolds will sit down, review the documents. Once we feel okay with it, we'll pose it to our governments for y'all to make your final determinations. So, any questions in regards to Midway?
Congratulations, Midway.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Very hard work
Happy
on their
birthday,
behalf.
Midway.
Yeah.
So,
Under 30 days, right?
Yeah.
They did.
I'm glad you put that fire out.
thank you, Commissioner. So, here are no questions on that. I'll move into the next. The next item is a contract between Liberty County Board of Commissioners and Dr. Jay Williams as a medical director for Liberty County Fire Rescue Fire Services. We are needing a medical director in regards to the medical services that we are providing to the public, and this is just moving forward. This is an agreement. You'll see this agreement every 2 years. There is a monetary cost to it, $600. That is something that is already pre-planned in our budget, so it is not anything that is unforecasted. So
Is he the present medical director?
he is.
Okay.
He's currently the present medical director for Liberty County EMS. I know that he serves at Liberty Regional Medical Center as an emergency doctor there. So, again, this contract, this is our safety net. Should any of our members, our employees go out, operate outside of a scope of practice or in a scope of practice, and there's any kind of possible litigation, whatnot, Dr. Williams is ultimately the person who says, yes, I do agree with their teaching methods, their teaching techniques, their testing procedures, and so he's our safety net. So think of Dr. Williams as our insurance policy.
Chief,
Sir?
question off the top of my head. If EMS and fire were combined together, would that cut that cost? With him being the same for EMS?
No, so the reason why our two agreements are separate is because it's two separate levels of care. So the current agreement that I believe Liberty EMS under the Board of Commissioners has with Dr. Williams is $1,200 a month. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's somewhere around there. But that is because Liberty County EMS is an ALS service. They are a transport service. There's a lot more risks and liabilities with them, where with us, we won't be operating to that level. So it would behoove us, as well as we are two different responsible agencies. Our scope of practices are different, so these agreements would remain separate.
Last question, since I brought that up.
All right. Chair, entertain a motion.
Okay, wait a minute, Chair. I got one more question for Brian.
Yes, sir.
Do you see in the future that we could possibly sit down and talk about bringing it together?
I don't think so.
I would leave that to the discretion of the board
Just
and
ask a
Mr.
question.
Mosley.
Because we all
I hear what you're saying, but
Man, last time I brought up consolidating the fire, y'all remember that in here?
just knowing how
Boy,
medical directors work.
I was scared.
Marion, you can't wear no more hats.
Yeah, if I put some crazy glue up in it.
All right.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second, somebody? Motion and a second, we approve the contract with Dr. Williams, Service Medical Director. Just a quick question. I know the city of Hinesville has a chaplain. Do you guys have a chaplain?
We do not. We don't have a chaplain. We have ventured that before.
Yeah.
What we do is we do have agreements with the state support, peer support office. And so if we're in need of a chaplain, we can call for one, but we do not have one readily available outside of, Mr. Mosley. So I do have one at the beck and call.
You got a built-in chaplain?
Yes, sir. But we do have peer support groups. We are part of that group, as well as we have had multiple members attend that training. And we've actually deployed our peer support groups to help other areas who are in need of peer support.
I just know,
to
I will
include our
say,
own.
it's a good community look.
It is.
With the city of Hinesville, so you might want to, that's not a paid position, I'm sure.
No, sir, it's not, and
Yeah.
it's definitely something I'll be more than glad to sit down and venture.
We might make some recommendations for you. Yeah. All right. Okay. All in favor of the medical director being Dr. Williams?
I'm right back here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Chairman Board,
Kinda
thank you.
short,
Thank you, sir.
right?
Right along.
Chief Hagan, good to see you, dressed out.
I'm telling you, spiffy, man. That's pretty.
You must have finally got in your uniform. Looks sharp.
Normally you dress up, today you're dressed out.
Yeah.
Coming before the board, you
Got
gotta
that
come ready.
bling.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. Always an honor, and I'll start off, make this easy. I'm not asking for money tonight.
Bless your heart.
We hopefully, I'm here tonight to bring forth the MOU between the Sheriff's Office and the school board. This is for the 25-26 school year. And the only change that's well, I won't just say only, but the changes in here, the legal aspect of it has remained the same. I think you all have a copy of it. But the big change in the MOU is the amount of SROs that the school board has agreed. And we initially started out with 7, and now they're wanting to go up to 16, which would be a lieutenant and a sergeant, and then the other 14 would be officers within the schools. We would do both high schools, middle schools, and then, but also make appearances in all the elementary schools until we can get everybody hired. And then we'll have officers in all schools. The school board is taking on as you can see, $1.9 million financial. And the reason it's this high, because it's starting, they're taking on the vehicle cost, equipment cost, salaries, and all costs. With this, the agreement has been worked out where finance bills the Board of Education, and that money is brought back to the county. And but it works pretty much like it has the last couple of years. And so I'm asking you all to adopt this contract. And the hardest thing is going to be the change has come that to get officers certified and actually on the road has increased due to the state certification process has taken longer. Plus you have a 3-month FTO program that they must go through once they're out of the academy. So it takes a while, but also we really try to handpick who we put in dealing with our kids. You know, you can't just put anyone in the school system. You know, they may be a certified officer, but they got to have some understanding, and hopefully they have kids and understand what it takes in dealing with our youth. So far I've seen, and I've talked with a lot of the staff, they agree that the SRO program has been a big help to them. Like, we've been able to get, there's a lot less claims of bullying in the schools because we're really pushing our officers to build relationships with the kids where it is reported if that's going on. So I can see a change, and I think this is an awesome program that we really need the safety of our kids in our school as much as possible.
So each high school will have how many?
I think we'll try to start out this year with at least 2 in the high schools. And then we will move the others, because as we can get them hired, we'll move them out to start with the middle schools next. But we'll have middle school people, but just not enough for all of them to start out with, because I think we have a total of 5 to 6 at this point. But even those supervisors will roam around and fill in where others, even according to the agreement, if, say, they're in training out sick or something going on, we will still supplement what these officers, you know, so we make sure we keep someone in the school system.
What's the level of interest of officers wanting to be SROs?
We've got quite a few. I think we just sent 5 officers in this most recent academy. We're getting a lot.
How long is that academy?
It's, I think now 12 to 20 weeks.
Okay. It still go to Forsyth or some other place?
No, sir, we use the academy in Savannah.
Savannah? Okay.
Georgia Public Safety Training Center in Savannah.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Didn't you say there's additional, after that, there's additional training that's required?
Right, the FTO program, Field Training Officer program that the state requires them to go through. And that's just learning what to really do once they hit the ground. And
that's specifically for SROs, that FTO training?
No, that's for all law enforcement, yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, but they're on the payroll day one?
That's right.
Okay.
But, and what we've decided to do instead of them, like if we get them hired early, instead of just sitting around or not hiring them and losing them because they're not employed, bringing them, starting them out in the jail so they can work some in the jail. And that way we don't lose them because they're unemployed, and then when time to go to school, then they can start school.
Okay. Commissioner Gill?
Yes, Chief, I just have a couple of questions. I was looking at page 2 of this agreement, and I think I was looking. We have 12 schools, seven elementary schools, and of 2 high schools, 7 elementary, and then we got the Career Academy. Is that part of it?
Right, the Career Academy is still a part of it.
And the college and career academy, that's off Airport Road. Is that would be, you have a SRO in that one as well?
No, sir. The Career Academy off of, what is South Main over there?
Oh, no, you're talking about Horizon.
The Airport Road Career Academy, LCCA?
Yeah, that's out by the jail.
Okay, that's the actual Career Academy. I'm thinking of Horizon, where we have a officer that we still will keep at that
Horizon.
Location, right? But that would be at the expense of the county. One of our, one of our officers that was at the Midway Elementary, I believe, will be coming back to the sheriff's office. So that'll be one officer as a result of this that we can put back on the road. But the Career Academy, we don't have one at the Career Academy, but that would be one that if the school board says that they want to put someone at the Career Academy,
I guess
we
because
can.
it's so close to the, to the jail.
Close to the jail. Well, yeah, and I guess my other question, Chief, I'm looking at this second page of this document. It says that the sheriff will also cover the cost for 2 SRO vehicles.
Those were already purchased through Red Speed.
Okay.
We're just allowing them to keep those.
Okay. And there was a spreadsheet floating around over the weekend, and an elected official sent that to me. I don't know where they got it from, but it says that the vehicle with uplifting 12 at 54,000. So there would the school board is going to purchase 12 vehicles.
Yes, they're responsible.
And this agreement is for the period of 1 year, and then there's like a termination for convenience clause in there like that. So the sheriff, the school board is going to buy these vehicles. That they would own them.
And they will own them, yes.
They would own them, and the maintenance of them, that would be from at the bus barn with the school board.
That's right. No, as far as the maintenance of them, they will still come under the sheriff's office. Far as
That down there with
Bacon
down
Town,
off
Bacon
of
Town.
what is Bacon Town Road?
So the school board is buying them, and they
Right.
own them.
Right.
And they have their own maintenance for the buses and everything, but because but we gonna take them, if something was wrong with them, down to Bacon Town Road for our
Right,
mechanics.
but they're responsible for the
The
maintenance
invoicing.
and care of those vehicles.
It's a package deal, I read that.
That's correct.
And now school starts tomorrow, so would you won't have an officer in every school tomorrow?
no.
Because
No, sir.
this also
No, sir.
says that you won't have them in the elementary schools, that you just go in there from time to time and just check on them periodically.
Right.
And
right.
that's gonna be the duty of the 14 deputies to, I mean, it won't be one assigned to every school.
Like even the 6 officers we have now, the supervisors like during the day roam and go through those schools. And so even now, once we hire, the more we hire, like at Midway Middle, that officer at Midway Middle can easily cover down at Midway Elementary. Those schools that are
Back to back.
they're right there together. So that's what we mean by really they're covering one campus there for the most part.
But the plan is to fully, every school have their own.
But tomorrow's the first day of school. You don't have 14 deputies?
No, sir.
Okay, you don't have it right now? Okay.
Some in training.
Yes, we got some in training. We have, I think, 1 or 2 that we will be able to add on tomorrow. But like I said, it's a process.
Yeah.
But this contract, and of course, next year, the cost won't be nowhere near as much because the infrastructure will be in place already.
Okay, and I guess one last question. There's special training for these SRO officers?
Absolutely.
And let's say the guy that goes to Button Gwinnett, he has that training. And if he was on vacation or out sick or something like that, his replacement would be another trained SRO officer.
That's correct.
Not a road deputy that fill in here, because you would have to have that coverage. The sheriff department would provide that coverage. And whenever the coverage is, it would be with a trained SRO officer, not just someone that you pull off the road because you had a vacancy for that day.
You have a lieutenant and a sergeant, and that's what their job is, to fill in. And most of their training is done. We try to make sure they get the required training during the summer when school is out. So that keeps them from having to be out unless it's something family-related or illness that takes them out of the school. So.
And I think it also said in here that I guess like when school is out,
Right.
that the officers would come back to the sheriff department and y'all could use them in whatever capacity.
No, the new school, this new contract, that's not the case because our budget will not
Not the new
allow.
contract here?
No, sir. Our budget will not allow for us to take all those back over the summer. If a special detail or something came up, yeah, they could be used, but there will be, you know, a financial agreement that would have to be, you know, as far as payment of overtime or something like that would be done. But once we get up to, say, 14, 16 officers, we can't bring them back during the summer because that would kill our budget. So that's why this new contract, there are 3, you know, year-round employees. But that's when, during the summer, they'll do their training and then special details that they may have. If summer school, they'll do summer school as well.
So they belong to the Board of Education?
That's correct.
100%.
And benefits, retirement, and everything is paid for by the school board?
That I will have to look at, but I still think they come under the sheriff's office retirement because they are still employees of the sheriff's office. And, but that's a question I will have to ask,
Do you know,
Major
Mr. Mosley?
Kirkendall.
Don't know, Joe? Okay. All right.
I would imagine benefits, I would
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
benefits would
Well,
be covered
I-
too.
Right, but
Find out for all of us, Joe.
I'll find out by in the
Yeah,
morning,
yeah,
I'll
I
have
mean,
an
you-
answer.
I was,
14 people.
That's a lot of money.
Even if you do
Chief.
$50,000 per vehicle.
So if they're sheriff's department employees, and let's just say that you may have one that's a sheriff's department employee that's got 6 years with Sheriff Bowman, and then you've got some of the other SRO officers that might come from Wayne County or wherever else to get a job. But how does that, you know, like health insurance and all, and vacation, how does that, it'll still be the sheriff's department's employees, they'll just be getting paid through the Board of Education?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So any incidental stuff that goes on will be a sheriff's department
Right.
employee?
Anything outside of this contract, yes, would be. We just had one come from Chatham County that we hired, and that will be a SRO. He's already certified, that kind of thing, so.
Right.
And he'll come under the sheriff's office.
You know, I never thought that in my wildest dreams, of course, you, in the 5th grade, you'd have to have police. My dad had one, and it was about this long. It was leather. That was about the only time I ever seen police.
And Mr. Chair, and I get it. I think sometimes we're looking at policing the children, but it's more of a public safety thing. I remember my senior year, you know, that was something in high school. That was something no one would ever think. It was something called Columbine happened, and I remember that vividly. You know, when and being afraid to even go to school, because I wasn't worried about, you know, getting beat up or anything. I was worried about someone having a weapon, you know. So I hear we talk about our kids, but it's more, I look at it as more of a protection. Every month, if you watch the news during the school year,
Every week.
someone's bringing a gun and shooting up the school. I would hate for that to happen in Liberty County, but
Absolutely.
even last year, it happened in the state of Georgia.
Several times.
So, I mean, I commend you all, the sheriff department, I commend the Board of Education to make sure that our kids are safe. I have kids in the school system, and, you know, school starts tomorrow. You know, we pray for them on Sunday. We're gonna pray for them in the morning, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm glad to know that we have some type of safety. So with that being said, Mr. Chair, I make the motion that we accept this resolution.
Question, Mr. Chairman.
It's the same.
Was there an administrative fee, Mr. Mosley, do you know, for us managing this? Okay.
And I had a
Do what?
question, Mr. Mosley, Mr. Chairman. Do we need to amend the sheriff's budget for this?
Ma'am.
Or no?
No.
If you want to give me some extra part of that
Well, I
81
didn't know if
million
it
he
was
was
like a
talking about, I'll
wash.
take it.
In and out. I didn't know if we'd need to amend the budget for it coming in and
I don't recall
Or
doing
an
that in the
expense.
past. I don't
It's like a
recall that.
wash, it's like a wash
it'll
deal.
be a wash.
Oh,
But I didn't know if we
there's
needed
no-
to amend
It
the
is a
budget.
wash deal.
I don't recall doing that.
Appreciate you thinking of us like that, though.
That's fine, that's all I have.
You'll have them.
All right. Make your motion again, sir.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Motion is second, we approve the SRO agreement between the Sheriff Office and the Liberty County Board of Education with them funding the expenses. We get those questions and answers about the benefits part.
I would.
I would think that would be covered in their salaries,
Right.
but let's check to make sure.
No, we're not covering the salaries.
Yeah.
The board is covering the salaries.
I know,
Right.
I would think that would be
But the
covered in
benefits
there.
of the, right.
Be a part of that.
Part of the benefits package, I think it
Yes,
is,
yes.
but I want to make sure I answer it correctly.
Right, because I guess if it's not, then as Commissioner Thrift said, we would have to, we got to cover it either there or here. So we would have to do something with the sheriff's budget if it's not all covered in here. And I think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. We have a printout of it, and I'll get you all a copy of it in the morning.
Isn't it itemized list on the budget?
I'm just
I
about
don't
to say,
remember.
Chief really
And if
looks.
it's not?
Spiffy.
It's in there
I'm
under-
trying to tell you,
It's
man.
the line item. That's all
He
right.
looks official, he looks.
Just like you got them shirts out of the cleaners when I seen you the other day.
All right, let's vote, all in favor with, all right. Thank you, Chief. Let's get that information back to us.
Thank you, sir. Liberty County proud.
Liberty County Pride, well, you look at today. Look at today. Not that you don't always look at today.
Thank you.
Mr. Stanley, you ready, sir?
Yes, sir. If it's okay with the board, I'm going to have to sit back here and kind of run everything.
drive it
and
from
do
there?
my- Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all
So,
right.
Backseat driver.
Yes, sir. So what I'm here to discuss tonight is the new website. It's not a new website. We just basically put a fresh coat of paint on the website and did a little bit of rebranding. And you've seen some of the colors here this evening, and it's up on your screen now. But what we did is our website company came back with several choices, and we kind of went back with a red, white, and blue theme. We wanted to maybe drop the Minuteman off and keep the red, white, and blue theme. And this is the color palette that we kind of settled on. And this is what the new website currently looks like, and I'll give you a demo of it here in just a few minutes. But we wanted to go over some logos with you. This is what they came up with. Everything's kind of rectangular. The content on it's exactly the same. It's just a new look. And these are the logos that we originally came up with, which has Liberty County keeping the star from the Minuteman and the county name underneath the logo and beside the logo. The commission had wanted to see the logo with the county outline around it, and we did some trials on it to kind of see how it would work. And if you can see, the logo has to fit into a circle for most social media stuff, as you'll see here in just a second. If the logo's pretty big size, you can actually see what's in the middle of it. But as you can see on the left there, the smaller it gets, the harder it is to see what it actually is. Whereas the LC, you can see it, and even when it's small, you can actually read the square image a little bit better.
Okay.
And up at the top is just a Facebook mock-up. The left one is the LC, which is currently on there, and the right one is the one with the county outline. Our county just does not lend itself to being a logo. It is long,
it's
narrow,
long and narrow.
and on top of all that, it's at an angle, so it will not fit in anything. Actually, when we print out maps, we have to do it in several pages because the county is just so weirdly shaped. We also asked them to spruce up the pictures for the Board of Commissioners, the Board of Assessors, and the Board of Elections. And I'll show you this here in just a minute too, but this is something extra that we added on.
Much hair again.
Commissioner Waller, you look pretty good on that picture.
This is what our Facebook currently looks like with the LC logo. We put Liberty County Proud and our website up at the top. This is what our YouTube channel looks like. Same thing, it's just all the social media has different parameters. And what you see down at the bottom, those are the colors that we were using on the website before. It was green and blue, I think. This is Twitter. And you see under there, that's an announcement about the meeting tonight. That's on all the social media. This would just fit in the screenshot. And what everybody's seeing now on the live broadcast, this is what it looks like. don't pay attention to the gold thing. This is just the only way I could snap it, but this is what's at the bottom of the video right now on the live streams. The black part up at the top would be the actual screen, the video. And I'm gonna just show you the website real quick. Hopefully it works. But this is what the website looks like. The picture changes when the website's refreshed. And it's just responsive menus. Like I said, none of this is different. Everything that was there, or everything that is there now was there before. We have a new search box, which again takes in the star from the logo. We have a box here where we can change that around if we want to. The picture can be a picture, it can be a video, it can be a slideshow, it can be all different kind of things. We just have it set to just be pictures that change when the website's refreshed sometimes. Yes. We have, just for the audience listening, on our website you can click and see all the minutes from all from 2023 on up. You can click to see the videos. We actually have a podcast, so you can listen to it in your car if you wanted to. We have it, you can pull up the minutes and the agendas. Anybody that wants to, it's on our website. We have a new job opportunity, so if you're interested in what jobs are available, you can go on our website and they're listed right there. You can apply for them right from the website. It tells you all about the jobs. And down at the bottom, you can click a button to apply. Our mapping, where you can pull up our parcel maps and our tax data, all of our online services. You can do online open records requests now, and you can see all of our bids and proposals that are currently open. Going on down, we have our quick links, and this is where you go to the commission page, and there's the new profile pictures, and you can actually click and see the commissioner's bios.
Come on, move it.
But before the oval frame was put in, this is what the pictures looked like on the website. It was just kind of plain, and we spruced it up a little bit. And
Justin L. Who was that?
wrong?
It's got a Z in there.
Oh goodness!
Don't worry, my cousin spelled it with a Z.
That's me. I did that. I just did that real quick. But it's the same for the Board of Assessors and the Board of Elections also. They just have smaller boards. What else? Our news section, we've kind of streamlined this a little bit to what's on this. This is the important stuff that we have to put on the website: return personal property notices, the the election results, and tax assessment notices, and then we have our other news, and then the calendar down at the bottom, which lists the next upcoming 5 events.
FLOST and TSPLOST on there?
Somewhere. Miss Samantha does that. The website hasn't changed. Whatever was on there before is exactly the same. The data is exactly the same. And just the department pages look like this. The data hasn't changed at all. It's just a fresh coat of paint.
Actually, it looks more friendlier.
Friendly. We did add, and it did pop up. Okay. We did add this is for ADA compliance for the visually impaired. You click this, anybody that's visually impaired or has trouble seeing, like some of us that are getting old, you can click and it adjusts the website dynamically.
There you go, Commissioner.
If you have problems seeing, you can change the color. Like if you're colorblind, you can see it black and white and stuff like that. That was an add-on. The open records is a new thing that was an add-on that we added onto the website to make it friendly and to try to get as much information out to the public as we possibly can. Make it as easy for them to find it as they can. And that's it.
With the city of Hinesville, we're able to go online and pay our water bills.
That's an option. We did not get that option, but it is an option that we
We
can
need to
do.
explore that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Isn't there a charge, an additional fee for that?
Yes.
That's what.
Yeah.
The convenience
There's a
makes it worth
convenience
it.
fee, yeah.
Mr. Commissioner Gill?
Well, I guess, Clint, if you was gonna update anything, let's say like, if you were gonna update the commissioner's bio, do you do that, or can anyone do that?
Your specific stuff, I have to do it. The actual website, the department web pages, the department has to do it. If you want to change your bio, just send it.
Yeah,
to
no, but anything that's added, that's there now, and if we wanted to change it, that goes through your office? I mean.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Unless it's an actual department page, then I mean, I can change it or the department head can change it.
But, so a department head can go to his page and make changes?
Yes, sir. Yep.
We did that at Liberty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you're not concerned about, misspelled words, language?
It would tell
or-
you that it had to, somebody else had to look over, once we did it, it went before some person like him, then they did the final okay for it to post.
Right.
Yeah, it went through a screening process.
That prevents anybody from getting on it.
It was, well, basically him.
Me or Michael or somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
And
okay.
Liberty was our HR department.
Is something wrong?
No, I'm not saying nothing wrong. I just know, I just don't think it would be good if this.
Free
is
fall.
That anybody should be able to go in there and put on anything on there without someone.
Editor.
We monitor it. They're not any, there's only one specific person in the department. It's usually the department head or whoever they tell us that they want to do the website. It's only one person per department.
But we had the other layer though, at Liberty, I could do a department head, but someone else made the final okay before it was posted to ensure that.
We're not that,
Yeah.
no, we don't do it like that.
Yeah.
We can.
No.
Yeah. Well, I guess you trust your department heads, but
Yeah, we do. I go and look at it. If anybody has a problem, if you ever see anything, just let
Yeah,
me know.
but-
I can go in and change anything.
I hear what
can
Commissioner
turn it
Gillard
off.
is saying though, yeah.
I understand too.
Right, you know, if we wanted it, to be right, it needs to be right. Okay.
Only thing I saw was just changes into
I get it. I'm sorry. That's me.
Looks good. Good job.
We're just trying to make it, make it look better.
Thank
and
you.
More modern.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. IGA agreement. Forgot it right? Yeah, T-SPLOST, Attorney Davis.
Sir.
Glad to see you up and out, sir.
Yep, thank you. It's good to be back.
You've been through a few things.
Feel good.
Yes, sir.
Before you tonight is a resolution authorizing the T-SPLOST, which you folks have been working on for quite some time. You know, you've met with different cities and agreed upon an allocation of the T-SPLOST proceeds. And of course, this will be a continuation of your current SPLOST. By virtue of the intergovernmental agreement, you can impose the T-SPLOST for 6 years at 1%. And that's what this resolution provides. And you can see attached as Exhibit A is the intergovernmental agreement between the counties and the cities. And it just memorializes the percentage allocation you folks have already agreed upon. And of course, makes clear that these funds can only be used for eligible transportation projects authorized by state law. You'll also see that this authorizes, in addition to execution of the intergovernmental agreement, it requests that the Board of Elections issue the call for the election, which will be this November the 4th. And of course, public notice of that election will be given as well. And unless you folks have, I know you've been very familiar with this. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. But otherwise, I simply ask that you approve the resolution presented, which authorizes imposition of the T-SPLOST subject to voter approval at the referendum, as well as authorizes execution of the intergovernmental agreement that's required by law.
Chairman,
Sir.
so moved.
Second, Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
and second, we approve the IGA as presented. It was a great collaborative effort. And thank you all for your input early on. And we look forward to getting this approved. You know the rules. We can't go out and actively campaign for it, but you can certainly give your support for it. So we appreciate that. And there are some of the signs in the, yeah, you can pick out some of those yard signs. All right. Motion second, any further discussion? All in favor, show your hands, please. All right, thank you, Attorney.
And that motion addressed both items E and G, helping you along your agenda there.
Right.
Once again, I can't, maybe Mr. Mo's going to present, but we had a very, what's the word I want to use?
Productive?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Meeting with the other members. Thank you, sir.
Sir, do you want me to stay for the FLOST?
Please do.
Yes, sir. Another great collaborative effort. You know, as a result of state law, local jurisdictions can vote to impose a floating local option sales tax. And the idea is to give the taxpayers relief from their ad valorem property tax bill. So working with the city of Hinesville, Flemington, and Waltharville, we have entered into, or proposed to enter into an intergovernmental agreement
whereby we authorize the imposition of a FLOST subject again to voter approval at the November 4th referendum. And all the revenues that are raised by that local option sales tax must, by state law, be used to reduce taxpayers' ad valorem property bills. So this will be a great benefit to the taxpayers of Liberty County and the residents of those cities. I've heard and read articles by way of example that the city might expect their property tax bills to reduce by 50% if this floating local option sales tax is passed. So it's a great benefit to the taxpayers of Liberty County. And again, the intergovernmental agreement provides, rather than 6 years, a 5-year imposition of the FLOST at 1%. And if you turn to almost the last page, second to the last page, you'll see on Exhibit A the distribution schedule that's been agreed to preliminary by the staff and others representing the city of Hinesville and Liberty County. And that allocation is Liberty County 61.463% of the FLOST proceeds will be allocated to reduce our taxpayers' property bills. And most of you are familiar, I think, with LOST, and the distribution schedule there is really based on population. But that was felt not equitable under the present circumstances because the taxes will be used to relieve taxpayer property taxes. So this distribution schedule is based on the relative value of 1 mil of each of these jurisdictions so that a proportionate benefit can be passed on to the taxpayers. So again, it's a great collaborative effort. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Just got.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarification, Mr. Chairman. This passes, and you got like the city of Walthallville trying to pass their millage. Right now, they are not a taxing city. They cannot come in until the next round, am I correct?
No, sir. I mean, so long as they have there are different and varying interpretations, but so long as they have their ad valorem tax imposed by the time we sign this agreement, then they're eligible to be part of this round of FLOST. Okay. And so you're correct, they have not yet, but they are in the process of doing that, and their schedule, if they comply with it, which we anticipate they will be eligible to participate in this round of FLOST. Okay. But you're correct, only municipalities who impose an ad valorem tax and who have some sort of floating exemption, homestead exemption, are eligible to participate.
All right.
Flemington has already done.
Right. I read that.
My understanding is, yes, they have.
Because they both are working on having that, Commissioner Stevens.
Yeah.
But they hope to have it in place by the time.
Right.
That's why they're on here. But if that doesn't happen, then that comes off.
They come off.
Okay.
But also, Mr. Chair, we won't see the adjustments for at least a year, correct?
That's right. The tax will be imposed beginning January 1 of 2026, and so all the revenue that's collected in that year will be applied to, that's right.
2020.
Right.
27.
Right.
So it takes a while to generate the revenue to apply it, that's right.
Okay.
But we say those things that's worth waiting on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hopefully all the voters will understand this will be used to reduce their property taxes, and it's a great benefit to them. And
But you're right, make it clear, not this
Absolutely.
that's right.
tax bill.
People should not expect it on the upcoming
right.
tax
The
bill.
27.
And then hopefully by then we'll have more commercial growth, especially in an unincorporated area, to help us. Because with this FLOST, when do we negotiate it every, is that every 5 years or?
5 years. It might take action by the state legislature to, renew or continue the FLOST. But yes, if it is continued, right now it provides for up to 5 year imposition and up to 1 year.
Okay.
And at that time, we may have some other partners, because I know some other municipalities are talking about it, but they're just not as far along as Flemington and Walthallville is. So just know that in the next round, we could have a little different configuration. By that time, they have established a millage.
That's right.
Okay.
Chair, entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion second, we approve the resolution as presented for FLOST. We look forward to it. And as our attorney said, and Mr. Moses said, it's been a very cordial experience, and we appreciate our fellow municipalities for working with us, working together as a team, that we might all do something, Commissioner Stevens, that benefits all of Liberty County, using your speed.
Thank you, folks. Good to see
All in
everybody
favor?
again.
Commissioner Blunt gives us approval. But, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mosley.
To answer some questions earlier, that will cover under the MOU, it will cover retirement.
I thought it
And
would.
it will require an amendment for the sheriff, so you're right, it will require an amendment. And we'll get you with it in terms of the, it does cover retirement, we need to check on, see what, on
Well,
the
there
insurance.
is a line item for.
Right, that's what, right.
In here.
It is, okay.
I guess that would.
It said to recover retirement on which side? On the,
That contract will cover for the retirement monies from the school board. School board will pay
They're paying
us for
for it.
retirement.
would pay for it? Okay.
We just make an amendment for the budget because of that particular line item. It doesn't have it for
Because
14.
because it's an increase.
Right. We would.
Okay.
Yeah, she pulled that out. Good job.
Mr. Chair,
You remember?
I would like to report, Kelly has left, and I want
Oops.
y'all to understand that with him in the FLOST negotiations, as we went up, he really made a tremendous
He
difference.
did do a good job.
So if you get a chance to see him, just let him know.
He
we were-
facilitated, y'all, and he did it so very well that everybody felt comfortable, and agreement was made with the allocations, really without any. Yeah, so we appreciate his leadership of that.
So just, we really want to.
In fact, he did. In fact, he came back to work one day early. He was still on medical leave, but he came back one day early to facilitate that. So we appreciate the sacrifice as well as his leadership of that.
And
He got us a good deal. Yes, sir.
We've had a lot of conversations with him over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks about getting that FLOST agreement completed, and so we really appreciate what he done. Want to use that as a segue to talk about Chairman. Now, we've kind of been meeting with a lot of folk. We met with our GDOT Commissioner, Russell, on last Tuesday, and I would tell you it was a very productive meeting. We think that we're going to get some fundings because of what you guys have done in terms of committing TSPLOST dollars and FLOST dollars to, TSPLOST and SPLOST dollars on some of the projects and designs. So it's going to pay off. And we appreciate him coming down and meeting with us, as well as meeting with the city of Hinesville. And also, Chairman, I got a chance to meet with Mr. Sam, I forgot. Tustison. He's with the, he's a deputy field rep for Governor Kemp. Got a chance to meet with him on last Friday, and that was, again, another productive meeting. And we also met with a young lady from Senator Ossoff's office. I can't remember her name.
Kristen, first name's Kristen.
Christian. Again, another productive meeting, and we think that these meetings will, as we meet with them, we think they will pay off in the end.
Can I comment? The GDOT meeting especially, I have to give Commissioner credit. You know, he's the man with the hand on the purse kind of stuff, and he offered to assist with several of our projects. So Trent's gonna follow up on that, and we hope to have some good information to you. But and I'll tell you, it benefits us to already have some planning done, as well as some funds set aside. They all comment on that. That puts us, ahead of a whole lot of other people. So he was very complimentary. He said, I think we can help with that. So we're waiting to see what all that help looks like. But there will be some dollars coming from GDOT to help us with some of our projects here.
So we came out of that meeting feeling very good. So.
Very good. Yeah.
AEDs. Bob approached us about getting our AEDs out, and we have replaced just about, I think, 95% of our AEDs. And what they did is post the information through Paylocity for all of our employees. So employee want to understand how AED works, they can go into Paylocity and get the instructions, and that's very crucial. So, situations happen all the time. And we got AEDs, and they're up to date, and so we're excited about that. I want to give you an update on our community complex kitchen improvements. David is coordinating again with the Recreation Department to get the hood system and getting all the new wiring in place. It's going to cost a little bit more money, but we'll find it. But that will put that kitchen and make it certified according to the health department.
It was a little more than the 20 grand we talked about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He told me yesterday that with the wiring, the type of wiring he's going to do is going to increase the cost. So it'll require a little bit more money.
20 grand for a kitchen.
We met today with Mr. Hendricks from the Corporate Extension Office. They're asking us, the UGA is asking us to do a new update and revised MOU, and we'll bring that to the board at the next meeting, and we'll talk about the details of that at that time. One of the things I want to.
Are the dollars the same, or would be a change in?
Yes, sir, the dollars are the same. But just some more added responsibilities they want us to take on. One of the things that I want to share with the board, and we're going to have a meeting on Thursday, and that is Mr. Payne, our chief property appraiser, provide us with information for timber harvesters who had property that was damaged during Hurricane Helene. The state is trying to put a mechanism in place where if the county signs a resolution, we would receive from those people who were affected, we would either waive their taxes or refund their taxes, and then we would get the information and forward it back to the state, and they would refund us. So I want to bring that to you as we get more details, and y'all can decide whether or not y'all want to help
Commissioner,
those.
I told them that someone in your
affected by
district lost some pine
timber.
trees.
I can't wait to see the list.
Who are you talking about?
Right.
What individual?
Individuals who may have had timber,
So it was a group of folks?
individuals is what it says.
I just know, I know one from his district. I don't know of any others.
I had heard them up in around Soperton area, but there was no compensation. They were just saying what they lost insurance-wise because, you know, you don't tax that type of agricultural stuff, so.
This is a new option that we'll have to look at, and people who, timber owners can see if they qualify for it. And
Yes, sir. So
Who is that?
talk
Talking about-
talk offline to him if you will. Talk offline to this gentleman right here.
Yeah, I talked to you afterwards.
Huh?
It's the only one that I know. Yeah.
Had some damage.
Yeah, pine trees down, yeah, I had them. But I didn't get no money.
See, all y'all kids grown.
Okay.
We didn't get none either yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, members, Commissioner Stevens and Commissioner Frazier had talked about us doing the decals for the vehicles, with us having a new logo and design. Fire Chief Darby has agreed to take that project on. He's contacted Georgia Correctional Industries to get us a design to look at and play with. So he's gonna get that done, and we're gonna look at it, and then we'll start doing orders so we can post on all our vehicles so that we have identification there. And also on your desk, there is an annexation, 2 annexations from the LPC, the LCPC, around 15th Street area.
City of Hinesville.
The city of Hinesville is annexing some property.
Still growing.
So, and then the last thing is LRT pickleball courts. We got some issues there that we're trying to resolve, and they'll be available in September. So if you guys want to talk about some possible dates for grand opening or ribbon cutting, y'all can do so tonight or at the next meeting.
So I know the post came in.
The posts are in, they look good. There's some issues that we got to work out on repainting and some caulking around the courts.
Yeah.
So there's some holes, so we just need to.
Kind of minor, but
Okay.
a point.
So we need to set a date for the.
Yes, sir, if y'all would like to do it tonight or on the 21st, but I would say probably sometime in September, they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, 21st we'll do that.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's all, sir.
So, anything else for the good of the order?
The bridge on Woods Frazier has started.
It started?
Replacement.
All right. Thank you. Chair, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second. All in favor? Thank you.